other people dictate the pace. They have to come in with that passion and energy right from the start. We saw in the EP match earlier on, they had that slow start where it didn't feel like the control was in their hands. And I think in this series, that's the key. They've got to come out and play the Stallions game all series long.
There's one more spot in the grand finals, and only one of these teams can claim it. Will it be Stallions? Will it be Team Liquid? A reminder, TL took Stallions down in their respective group couple of days ago. They look to do it again, but this time the stakes are even higher. The keys are on the line, and whoever loses has their key crushed, and they are gone. Whoever wins, though, has a shot at glory. It's Team Stallions versus Team Liquid. We head into map 1 on Ankara.
Thank you so much, guys, as we are jumping straight into the second semifinal of the day. I am Valdez, with me is Laz. You guys did such a great job of breaking down this matchup. Such a big one that already has some history here at this tournament alone. And I'm very excited. I feel like both of these teams are very evenly matched in my mind and could go either way. We'll see who's better on the day here, Laz.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you know, it's a good little bit of a rematch on a map like this, right, where Team Liquid were able to find themselves at 10-5 victory. So again, for Stallions, I think this is where they really want to get themselves out the gate. They're going to be able to find this map win if they can, just to kind of, again, prove a statement, kind of get over that little bit of a hump and hurdle, and then that way they might feel a lot better going into a potentially a deep best-of-5. I mean, it's kind of feeling like it definitely can go all the way.
Yeah, well, gonna start off here early. That's why he's getting some early kills here. A couple of headshots just ending the aggression of Stallions already. As they're going to charge into the smoke, KLB kind of catches him off guard there. So a little bit of a trade back for Stallions to start this one off. But yeah, this is a map where I do expect Team Liquid to be favored on. And already they're favored here in this first round. And yeah, I personally think this is going 5 maps. I've heard 4, I've heard 5 as well. I do think it's going to go the distance. A 3-0 would be very surprising to me. But, you know, maybe one of these teams steps up in a big way and the other doesn't. And then maybe we get that one-sided affair. But I just don't think it's going to happen, Laz.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, I definitely think this is one of those matchups that we looked at in the entire bracket. And it's like, if they're going to play each other, it's got to go all the way, right? I mean, this is where both these teams equally matched and a lot at stake here. So I think for both these teams, I cannot just imagine a 3-0. If it happened, like, I mean, that would be a massive performance. But again, that's, I just feel like it's very unlikely, to be honest. So we'll find out.
Interestingly enough here, TL has left the B site totally open. And this is something you can't do, opening this B site, going for the retakes. It's not the hardest site to go for a retake on. So they have the man advantage. They let them push into the B site. They wanted to have a bit of coverage elsewhere. And very curious to see how this retake is going to happen, as already underneath they take down KLB. As No has been huge for the squad, as we've already talked about, but he will be taken out by none other than Gokhan, who was the other highlight player here on the side of Team Liquid. Nice little push, as it seems like the guns are lined up and calibrated already for Team Liquid.
Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting tale for Gokhan, right? I mean, there's been so much that's talked about him and like his tenure playing for so long, and like just being able to get himself a championship and everything. So I mean, you can argue both sides, right? I mean, Team Liquid hungry for a W, like getting themselves in a grand final position. Hopefully, maybe being able to take the tournament would be huge for Gokhan's sake and his legacy. But also, you talk about Stallions, where a young team that's been able to just rise through the ranks so quickly, where that would just be absolutely massive for their region and everything, right? Like something we haven't seen in a number of years. So it's just one of those things that it's just such a cool storyline and a lot of back and forth affair for both these teams. But Stallions aren't going to mess around anymore. 7-7 looking like he's getting primed and ready, and a beautiful shot, and Team Liquid already just reacting perfectly well to the plan of attack, and they don't even look like they're breaking a sweat with this one.
Yeah, it's looking pretty simple so far for the side of TL. I mean, that was held off in flying colors. Excellent first shot from 7-7 really is what got it done. KLP is going to get the 1 kill, but he has no health. Okay, that's a snipe. I mean, he doesn't have any health still. He hasn't lost anymore, which is why he's still alive. And he has to go for the 1v2. It's not going to happen. Gokhan's right there from the rafters just watching that opening and makes it look easy. As you mentioned, not breaking a sweat here. An easy 2 rounds for TL.
Yeah, let's not forget, like I said in the very beginning, this was a 10-5 last time they played, so that's where I imagine for Stallions they did a lot of preparation. They were just able to watch the tape back and go, okay, look, like some of the mistakes we made here, and they know that Liquid's a good team, right? Like, I mean, I don't even think, in those player interviews there was any doubt about that. They were saying, look, powerhouse team in their region, like we know that, but they just think they're better, which I also kind of admire their ego. I like that. That's just, good mindset to have in this.
Yeah, at the end of the day, most important thing is that you believe that you're the best. You have that confidence, right, that you can beat anyone, essentially. That's what allows you to do exactly that. As Why here in the corner, he's going to get pushed, but he just stands up to it, picks up a second kill. Very nicely done by him, as Kano is going to finally end that ruckus.
Yeah, good reaction from him too, right? Like you could see the first duel repositions, and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to commit to the fight. I'm not even going to try to run away. And the fact that he does pick up the second is absolutely massive. So that's a good way for Team Liquid to give themselves a nice little bit of a start. Loy, I was going to say Loy might be down, but loses lots of HP. So Danimals now can just pull back on this. And I do like this plan from Liquid, right? Like he gets that information. They can just regroup as a unit. They do lose the Strangler of one of their players right now, but shouldn't be too costly for the time being. The Danimals by himself here is a little scary for me. Like, again, I know he's getting some intel, but you got to be careful how much you want to poke and prod on this.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting from the side of TL, where they have everybody on the side of the B site. I mean, they did that in the first round as well, where they just let Stallions plant on B, and then they went for the 4v3 retake. And Danimal's like, wait, what? There was nobody there. What just shot me? But yeah, he's holding the angle now. KLP not going to win that one, as they are going to push into B. And this bit of a stack here, at least on this half of the map, might just work out for TL. As it is a 2v3. Lloyd trying to find Danimals. Very nice shot to end that one. And that's going to tie things up 2-2 in terms of the manpower in this round.
Yeah, but look at 7-7, though. Quick on this one, but tried to beat the smoke, but no, it's not going to happen. Now Goken. A tall task indeed for someone like him, and now he's getting some shots, and Loy, oh man, I was starting to get a little bit worried, but Kano versus him, I guess, who are you going to pick, right? I mean, that's the thing, and that's what's so fun about seeing this guy play, and like, the desk was talking about this, like, I don't think they've seen him, like, perform, less than, what, like, 15 kills, which honestly seems pretty accurate. Like, it seems like every time you see him on an international stage, he is absolutely performing, and that is, in my opinion, too, I definitely agree that, like, Stallions need him to be, like, accelerating fully, right? Like, he has to be able to get these kills. He has to be able to find, like, multi-kills, because he is a big pillar on this team. So already seeing a little clutch like that, it's already a little bit of a good warm-up here as we're getting primed and ready for the BO5.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the way you talk about the roster, where it's like, it's obvious that No is kind of the superstar amongst the five, but it does take the whole team, but also one big guy to kind of, mash everyone together to be the glue and the clutch man, and he certainly is that guy with a lot of strong pieces around him, so certainly makes for a strong team at that. And so Stallions, they get on the board, they pick up that round. Was a close one, and the 2 rounds that TL won were relatively easy for them, even though there were plants in every round. So we'll see if TL can keep up their prowess here on this map of Ankara. We do see a little bit of pressure around Hotel, but Stallions not going to commit there as they move into the middle of the map now.
Yeah, Liquid switching up their defense just a little bit here too, right? Because they have had someone pretty much playing like GR window most of the time as well, so they kind of just go for the heavier lean on A. So this actually gives an opportunity for Stallions, if they choose to take this mid corridor, but they are going to decide to go through connector. Looks like it might be even a little bit of a 4-1 split. You can just see that Loy is trying to distract as much as possible, making it seem like a bit of an execute. Good shot here from Y, so now he's able to find that one. And he actually looks like he's going to hunt for a little bit more, and he does. And look at that. Might even be able to find that third, and indeed he will. Oh, man, he is just playing phenomenal right now. He's been able to just single-handedly create a lot of space here. And now we need AD to be able to find another one, and he does. And it's all just down to Loy, but ain't going to be surviving too much longer. And Team Liquid kind of continuing back from what we saw, just the other day, and it seems like they're continuing that mayhem in their winning ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Team Liquid looking great here, and it really all starts with Y. Obviously, we get a look at Goken just finishing things off, but he hasn't necessarily been the guy who is carrying this team at the moment. It's actually why. You're just holding down the air duct at A, and nobody has really been able to deal with that. He's been playing quite aggressive every single round, and still Stallions aren't really getting the memo. As Gokin, I'm not sure what was going on there. I thought he saw him, but wasn't able to react in time. Pretty interesting for Gokin, as now 7-7 somehow going to get out of that situation. Nice flash timing, as he might be able to get out of here. Just barely runs out of the tunnel and survives.
Yeah, the bombs still were retrievable here too, so this is good. I mean, Danimals is one of those players close on by that could have been able to spot it, but again, a lot of risk for him to go for that information. So now, Team Liquid have a really nice setup here in this B site. And Stallions, they got their eyes set on this one, and now for ADRF, he's going to have to do something big, and he finds that bomb carrier. He's going to go for a swing, but 7-7 does have his left-hand side, and it's all just down to KLP. A nice little bit of a singular shot here with the snipe, but again, you have to go against 3. This is not going to be easy. He does have some time. Let's not forget that either. But now look at Team Liquid. They are just giving up as much control as they want here because, again, he has to go for the plant. They're going to know for sure. Then they can just be ready for the retake.
Yeah, I think really the only cheeky thing KLP could do is just try to go hunting, but obviously quite risky to do that. So he's going to plant here, try to get the long angle. Actually could work if he could get up in a tower, but I think against 3, this is going to be pretty difficult as they're already trying to push. He's trying to go through the smoke, does not land the shot onto Danimals, and that will be another round here for TL as they do lead 4-1, and that is going to be the timing for the tactical pause of Stallions. Not a bad spot to go for it because so far it's been a very one-sided affair. Like Stallions got the 1 round, but it was extremely close. I mean, if No doesn't hit that shot onto Gokin through the smoke, we could be looking at 5-0 at this point.
Yeah, honestly, that's a really good point you bring up because it just seems like, you know, Team Liquid are doing a great job. They're playing a pretty simple game, but again, it's effective. And I mean, it feels like Stallions are trying to manipulate the map a little bit here, but it's just not quite working out for them. They're not really seeming like they're hitting their shots like we normally see. I feel like this might be one of those affairs where, or instances that could just be, you know, they're having a bit of a slow start. I mean, it feels like Team Liquid are ready, they're warm, they're ready to go, where I feel like Stallions are kind of still like revving the engine. They're trying to figure it out. So we'll see if this helps. I mean, Coach is going to be able to have, not whispering, probably going to be yelling a little bit more on this one because they got to figure it out quickly because I mean, a 4-1 lead's a 4-1 lead, man. That's pretty significant. And I mean, this is where they got to turn it around now, or this map could just be done and dusted, to be honest.
Yeah, you know, a map can slip away from you before you know it if you're not careful. And I absolutely think that this timeout was required just to try to get the engine going. I feel like the win rate after attack pause so far this tournament across the board has been something like 80+%. I do feel like it really works well in CROSSFIRE that our teams, you know, they get an attack pause, they come in and have a little discussion, and things do look a lot better afterwards generally. The issue being, you know, if you go for it and then you lose the next round, then that's a big mental kind of boom for you. So gonna have to see how it does go here as Stallions take the attack pause. They won't have another one for the rest of the map, and they gotta mount this comeback starting right now.
Yeah, it just makes me curious what the words of wisdom were, right? I mean, this is where the coach, like, again, it's easy when you're kind of behind the lines and you're kind of watching and you're like, okay, here's some obvious gaps, but I'm just curious how much, even for Team Liquid, what they want to change up. I don't feel like they have to really change much of their composition. Everything's been looking really good, and again, the system's been very effective. Like you said, it almost could have been a 5-0. Like, so it almost feels like they're playing like a flawless, you know, GR side right now. So either way, for Stallions, what is that, you know, that gap or that hole that they think they can be able to, you know, find? And it does seem like just one sniper on this one too, right? I mean, we talked about that the other day where I feel like they're not a team that always double snipers, but they do. But I do feel like they kind of just go for the true one, which I'm not totally against. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. As here comes No. Danimal's feeling that pressure. And really, his job isn't to get the kill. It's just to see, okay, well, Noah's over here, so we got to be careful. I just got shot by him, and I'm going to have to back off into coverage. Now, they have 4 people on B, and we haven't seen any executes onto A because Y's been doing such a great job of holding it down. So TL just put Y over there by himself. He says, you can handle it. And, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if he could. But let's see if Stallions actually do go for one of these big 5-man pushes, as we do have Danimals going underneath, trying to poke down. He is going to get away. But now the push is coming in. They want to punish this, as around the corner comes No. He will take down Danimals. And just like that, the B site might be the choice. But again, perhaps it's a bait, because there are 3 people on the B site. And even though Danimals goes down, they might still be able to hold on to this.
Yeah, I think it has a little bit of a bait switch, right? I mean, this is where he's just trying to make it seem like it's going to be an empty site. But look, there's a lot of guys here, but you have to hit these shots. Now you have to rely on ADRF to do something big, but he can only find the one. So a little bit of whiffs now here from the defensive side. Stallion have been given a bit of an opportunity on this one. They get this C4 down, and now they got themselves a 3-man advantage. But again, JJ hitting shots like that is definitely going to help. And now Goken, tall task indeed, a 1-on-3. Has to be able to find these shots. Finds that one, the shoulder of KLP, but now can he be able to find a little bit more? That flash is just connects on him. Look, you can just tell he's like, well, yeah, I can't see a thing.
Nothing he could do there. I mean, Goken did try, and you never know with Goken. I mean, I've seen him do a 1v5 in that situation, so always got to respect, and you could see that they did respect it. KLP was holding the angle, did lose the sniper battle, but then the double peek with the flash is enough to get the job done. So that is the 1 round after the tack pause. So
you're right on the prediction.
That win percentage does continue to go up in my mind. This is not an official win percentage. It's Goken. Wow, that's a sick shot. Right through the smoke, just raining down onto No.
Ooh, that's a nice nade. Calling him to Goken a little bit here too, so. It is funny though, right? Like, I mean, we joke about that on the West League a lot, where we say, like, you know, the timeouts happen and then, like, teams are able to find, like, 1 round at least, you know, right after it and stuff like that. It always makes you laugh. And then, but it is good, right? Because at least it's like that conversation you have with your coach, it obviously went the right way. Like, it's what they're communicating clearly was perfectly executed. So that always makes me happy to see as well for these teams that do call those tacks. So we'll see. But losing No early, though, that is kind of concerning for me, because, you know, Kyle brought it up. He's like, okay, look, if Loy or somebody else can be able to pull through, okay, that's great. But if you're relying on No to being just the star, okay, then we got a problem.
Yeah, and I do feel like Team Liquid's prep for this map has been immaculate so far, and I do like their reactions as well within the rounds has been very good, as Goken, you know, he goes over there, he's just ready for No to peek it again. Ooh. And now he's in spawn by himself. Nobody is able to challenge this guy. 7-7's got the off angle, and they were already down a man. But now they're, okay, KLP's going to get a couple more. All of a sudden making this a bit interesting. They still have to pick up the bomb in a wonky spot as Goken trying to get in. He's not going to get the kill just yet, as KLP barely survives, and the rest of Goken's squad does come over. And Y goes up top. He is going to take down that kill. And now it's all up to Loy in the 1v3 plus Goken. And it's not going to happen. At least he was able to isolate a 1v1, but still going to be a round here for Team Liquid. And yeah, just feel like their prep and their ability to, you know, react to what Stallions have brought has been excellent so far.
Yeah, honestly, this really does feel like such a clean GR side. Like, it really, again, the system, the protocols are in place. It doesn't feel like they're making any sort of mistake. Anytime they had, like, any adversity, that seems like they're responding to it perfectly well. So this has been a very impressive, you know, defensive side when we talk about all the teams. I'm almost going to argue this is probably one of the best GR sides we've seen all tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly looking like that so far. We'll see what the scoreline will finish off with, because, you know, I would not be surprised to see them get 6-7 rounds, around that amount, as we do have Y in position on top of A, and you just cannot challenge this guy. He is not losing to anyone. I say that immediately loses to No, but he already did his job.
He did.
As now at least Stallions get on the site, but this has been the comfort zone for TL, where they just let Stallions push and then they go for retakes.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like, why is, again, like, just playing his role perfectly. He's finding these double kills. That's all he has to do. He's kind of being that little bit of an anchor. And when you can do that, that just puts your team in such a prime position, right? So now you can see Liquid getting ready for here. The retake, Flash is coming in. His teammate does go down here for ADRF, but does have a chance here. Now he has to wait for the players on fence to make a bit of a distraction if they can, so he can slip through. But look at Goken, man. He's just winning these fights, and look at this, all the sheer confidence on it, and now he can't seem to find this one, but now his teammate has to do something big. Oh, no way.
He's going to try to spin hold. He's going to try to hold on to it, but the shots come in.
Woo! That's cheeky. Wow. I was thinking, like, that's a bold move, man, but like it's something you gotta do. The timer was getting low, right? Like, you don't want to pull another Vitality where you're getting that, like, what, 0.5 of a second diffuse? Like, man, that is just too tight. Oh, man.
Yeah, and again, Stallions, like, they get that round, but that's not the most convincing round I've ever seen in my time in Crossfire, where it's like, oh, you just barely held on. They nearly pulled a fast one on you. And I mean, Stallions, yes, they are getting across the line. I feel like you have to do a bit more work from Blacklist on this map rather than just 3 rounds. If they get up to 4, I mean, sure, it's anyone's map, but again, certainly liking what we see out of TL more so far, even though Stallions do win that. And remember, it was a 3v4 for Stallions that they do pull off, so props to them for that. Don't want to take that away from them. And now let's see what they do want to go for here. Spending about 45 seconds, and now it looks like a push into A is what we're looking at with the bomb, but through mid as well, as they are going to catch Danimals. And they have a smoke in position. Adrian feeling this pressure, but they just get wiped up this time as Goken at least trades one back, but this is looking much better for Stallions.
Yeah, this is a way more clean of a round, right? I mean, now we get to see Stallions finally, you know, showcasing some of that firepower that they were talking about and what the desk has been talking about. So this is a good moment for them. Like, they finally just, again, just put a little bit of force into this and overwhelm Team Liquid. So this has been great. I mean, this is still an opportunity where Goken and 7-7 could do something, but again, it's going to be tough. Like, let's not forget, you know, that C4 is already well over half. Now, you know, just being blind, that utility work, just delaying it as much as possible from Stallions is huge. Yeah, you might pick up a consolation prize here and there, but again, you have to go to for the defuse here and now, and it's just not going to be enough time. So yeah, good work on the utility from Stallions. Again, just buying them so much time. That smokes and the flashes, that was honestly the linchpin in the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nicely done with the post plant there from the side of Stallions. Couple of big rounds for them. You know, I was sort of writing the death note for them on this Ankara when it was 5-2, and we liked what we were seeing from TL, but that was a couple of dominant rounds back to back from Stallions, or at least dominant in the fact that they did win that third one for themselves in a 3v4 fashion and then go on to win a round like that, which was more dominant. But now, Goken gonna start off with a nice little pick in mid, takes out Loy. And this bomb is heading towards the B site at the moment. We do have one person, Y, who's kind of lurking in the air duct over at A, but they're essentially gonna be given the B site here.
Yeah, and that can be fine, right? I mean, again, the fact that Stallions are probably getting prepared for this, that's a really important kill to find too, because now they can just at least kind of get the rotates through, getting themselves in a little bit better of a position if they can. But C4 does need to go down quickly, and there we go, it does. I was just thinking, the longer you wait, the more that Stallions are going to be there ready for a retake. So, right, like, just try to burn as much time as you can here. So, with that C4 timer, and now you can see it's going to be the 2 in front, 2 in the back. Oh, maybe even triple. Just kidding. Hang on. Stallions, they're going to do something a little bit different. And if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be KLP in the tower. Good flashes coming in. 7-7 needs to be able to find this, though. It's a tough angle for him to hit this, and now Goken in the tower. He gets a little bit spotted. He's just shot a little bit of the pistol, but it's only the one. And now down Danimals. Oh, man, it's been quiet for him. He hasn't been able to find too much of the fragging abilities, and Stallions, they get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, that's 3 rounds in a row to them. That retake was very nice. I love the flash to get them in underneath, and they take multiple angles on their way on that retake. That is how you have to handle it on the B site. They go one guy through hotel, a couple of guys under, and then another one from the spawn. And that allows them to get in, even though it was pretty close. We said this before, I mean, it could be close rounds, but if you win them, at the end of the day, it's still 5-5.
That's all that matters. Yeah, exactly. Like,
get some momentum, you know?
Absolutely. Well, Goken's actually having himself a great game. I mean, 14-6 right now, and then you have Y again just sitting behind. And, you know, even for Y's kills, like just having 10, like I said, tons of impact he's been able to bring into this game so far. So, yes, it's not like a crazy statistic, but it's still very good, like when you've been able to watch this game. So, we'll see, though. Stallions, it looks like everybody's most likely contributing or, you know, pretty equalized, which is great, right? Like where some games we were giving some criticism that some players were a little bit more of that anchor when they shouldn't have been. But again, both these teams fighting for the grand final against Baisha.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty huge.
It's so cool. Like this whole tournament has been awesome, right? I mean, we talk about just all the paths for all these teams and how they got here and just how the brackets have worked out. Like it's just been so incredible to see.
Very nice lineups here as they get one up top and one underneath. And it's going to be KLP who tries to hold that, but Y on the entry is going to be taken down by KLP after getting that first kill. Only a minute left. They're going to take over Hotel at the moment and look to push into B, but the retakes on B have been good from both teams, as we do expect on this map of Ankara. So now they're going to get up here, certainly taking their time with it, and actually going to push before the bomb even goes down, as Snow is behind them, and they pick up that kill in the Hotel already. It's getting a nice angle here is Adrian, but now he's all by himself. He's trying to take down JJ. It's not going to happen. No, the round MVP. This is 4 rounds in a row right now for Stallions.
Yeah, that's so good. I mean, this is where now Team Liquid are going to call the tack timeout, and they have to. I mean, now they're in this deficit. You know, Stallions have been able to get themselves in this lead position, so this is a good note for them. But the thing is with Stallions, the exciting thing about their play styles, like we said, like over and over, is the fact of like they are aggressive. They are going to get in your face. They're going to try to, you know, bring the, you know, bit of a big fight in this, right? So that's where Liquid have to be reminded about that. Like these guys are unpredictable. Like they're pushing into the site well before like the bomb's going down. They're like making some kind of crazy fights, and you're just like, why would you want to go for that now? And so that's good. It's kind of like that gloves off approach, how I kind of always said for Stallions, where you just don't quite know what they're going to do, and that's where teams get caught off guard. And right now, Liquid probably having that deep conversation about, okay, look, like a reminder, this is who you're playing. Let's not forget this.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. You know, it's like, look at the scoreboard, not the numbers, but the team, and notice who you are playing against and, you know, handle that. I do think that the Blacklist side here for TL has been good enough, and I just feel like Stallions have been better at handling it. The retakes have been very clean.
Yeah.
And it really feels like, you know, you were talking about they were revving the engine, and it was 2-5, and we had, you know, a timeout when it was 1-5. Or I guess it was 1-4, but either way, it was enough time. And now the car's running.
Yeah.
And they're on the highway. They're going very, very fast so far with 4 rounds in a row. So really got to see if Team Liquid have anything left in the tank, or is the gas tank empty as we continue with this little metaphor we have going. But either way, we're going to see what it looks like here, especially after the timeout. If anything changes up for the side of TLS, they're going to peek KLP, the both of them, as they bring their own sense of aggression.
That's great. Honestly, really good coordination to be able to fight that smoke. You're like, okay, look, we're both going to go in blind, but like we know the lineup are like kind of pre-firing it essentially. That was perfect, right? And KLP, not a chance that he was going to be able to react to that. At best, maybe finding that one kill, but the fact that Liquid were able to find that kill without the cost of a teammate's life is absolutely huge. So for now, for Liquid, this is a great advantage, a good way for them to bounce back into this game, to bring things back to a tied situation if possible. But Stallions, they have to be careful on this, and I kind of like what they're doing here because, again, you're kind of splitting things up, a lot more of a lean, and you're just going to anchor one of the players. I think this makes the most sense to me. You're going to just kind of roll the dice, so to speak, and just go, okay, look, we got to try something here. We don't want to 2-2 this because if we do split this, it could be problematic. Just put some numbers heavily on one side of the map, but we'll have to see if that does benefit it. And it looks like Team Liquid actually starting to get a better hunch that they want to put the eggs in this one basket.
Yeah, it does appear that way so far. And, I mean, we're just going to be going through the air duct. 4 people. We have Gokin on the long angle. Really just waiting after getting that initial pick, taking their time with this one. KLP in the corner. He's not going to be able to get that flick down onto Adrian. And that means, guess who's looking back here? It's Gokin ready and waiting for Loy. As Gokin gets away, and that's a totally safe spot for now. It's going to take a while to root out Gokin there. And they're getting the plant at the same time. And Goken's got some teammates coming on over as Y gets the angle onto him. They know where No is as well. They peek him immediately. And JJ alone in the 1v5. It's not looking good for him.
Nope, it is definitely not. And again, that was one piece of utility left, but that's going to actually be removed. Now this is where, like, if these guys are all swinging and he's starting to get some good spray control and he's finding multi-kills, that's when you start to sweat a little bit. But again, it's fine. They had lots of numbers. It's no reason for them not to go for that fight. So they bounce back into this. It's right back to a tie game. And honestly, I love it because Goken, again, was just being a good distraction point. He was trying to go for that fight deep on the backside of in main there. And then his teammate Y was able to help him out. So this was huge. And now Stallions are going to have to decide what they want to do, and it actually looks like it's going to be a bit of a mid-pounce. They might even try to just fully aggress on this. They're going to try to put some of that firepower back into this. And it seems like Team Liquid can't seem to hold on to it, but there's Goken able to find something now. So this all of a sudden does turn into the 3v3.
Yeah, you can see Loy is trying to push this, but Goken is ready and waiting for it. I mean, he's right around the corner. He misses the shot, though. A rare miss in that situation. I mean, he was ready. You could tell, like, there was utility that he threw out that way. He threw a smoke. He was trying to defend himself, but not able to do it after all. And KLB, a big trade here, as that is going to leave only Danimals on the side of TL. And as you mentioned earlier, has been struggling a little bit in some of these situations. It's funny, Danimals, one of these guys that has been around forever. It feels like he and Adrian, even Goken as well, just some of the dinosaurs of Brazilian CROSSFIRE. And, I mean, Daniel was even casting at one point, and he did come back to pro play, obviously, as here he is in the semis of EWC. He is going all the way around and trying to just get over to the C4, of course, but not going to be easy, as this is well played from Stallions, just trying to hold down around the bomb. And let's see if Danimals can do anything here in the 1v2. Of course, has really no idea where they could be hiding, so he's got to check every single angle. And he's like, okay, they're probably in spawn. He gets one.
That's nice. Oh, man, but where is Loy going? Oh, I was going to say, okay, I didn't know if Loy was actually going to commit or not. It kind of looked like he was fading in and out, like jiggling kind of. I'm like, okay, you got to go or you don't. Like, but he does. Loy's like, nah, I can do one better. So, yeah, good effort from Danimals, though. Honestly, like, that was a tough position for him to be in, but he reacts well to it. I mean, you could see all his teammates were just like looking on his screen like, oh my gosh, what's he gonna do here? But yeah, he just turns his back, right? Like he was so aware, or like hyper aware that they were he was thinking they were in BL spawn, right? Which is very fair. So, but either way, A for effort, I'll say.
Yeah, now they're going to flash here on a No, as No is going to win that every day of the week. And he gets the bonus on to 7-7. And the bomb is on the ground. I think TL are falling apart a little bit after the last couple of rounds. As Stallions, they're putting on the pressure. They're ramping up. The fans are getting into it as well. This feels like Stallions are trying to make the final push to the win already.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a, scrappy round. I mean, it kind of in the sense that, Liquid just wanted to go for something quick, I guess, but Stallions, they were fully prepared for this. And the fact that No was able to win that fight twice, I was thinking he was a dead man because, look, the pop flash was going on the left-hand side of the ramp. I was thinking maybe at best you'll find one, but the fact that he was able to get away with two was just absolute murder. And then his teammate, I think it was KLB, he was able to find that double right behind him. So it's just, again, this is where this individual power of these guys and Stallions, that's when it starts to prevail, right? That's what makes them super exciting because, again, you just never know what they're going to be able to do. So a nice, quick round from them, but Liquid now are going to have to recollect their thoughts, get the stars out of their eyes, and figure out what they got to do to get back in this game.
Yeah, it is pretty difficult. I feel like Stallions, they're just so good at being great. It feels like throughout the entirety of the map, like they never let off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Feels like they're very good at both sides of the map, especially on this Ankara. And I mean, they lost to Team Liquid on this map before, but maybe not this time around, although Y and 7-7 put 1 and 1 together, and that's going to be a third on top of that. As the push is coming in, the flash is good, and Adrian picks up another one. As it's only No, and he's just kind of left by himself in spawn. They don't have any utility, actually, on the side of TL. So I suppose there is a very small chance here for No, but not looking likely, and we might head to an 8-7 situation here for Stallions. As Noah's picked up the TRG once again. Let's see. Can he do it again with this weapon? I'm sure that's what everybody wants to see, but I don't think he's going to go for it.
No, he might just use this to talk with the team, right? I mean, I feel like...
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, again, timer's way too low, so... And that's fine, honestly. I mean, again, ideally, yeah, you'd love for him to like try to go for something super fun, but again, it's just I felt like it was everything against him. The one thing that I'm wondering if Stallions have been able to figure out is like last time we watched them on this map, like I do think this A side GR defense was not the greatest in my opinion. I feel like there was a lot of a disconnect from these guys. Like you saw sometimes where one of the players could find like maybe that double kill initially, but it feels like as soon as one of their players goes down, that secondary player, like he's screwed. He has no chance of doing anything. So that's something I've noticed kind of throughout this tournament where I haven't been overly kind of, you know, pumped about it. So I'm hoping that's something they've worked on, but we'll have to wait and see. That last round was clean from Liquid. Like that was an easy execute.
Yeah, they did make it look really easy. I mean, that was one of the more one-sided rounds we've had so far. So pretty good stuff from them. I think that's a really nice comeback feel after a bunch of rounds went away from them in a row, essentially. So they're still fighting in this one. They're not going to give up their Ankara this easily. And that is absolutely what you need, especially going into sub-base for map number 2, which, as we know, the Stallions do very much enjoy. Even though it was noted that they did lose to, I believe it was Evolution Power on that map, yeah. But it was a close one. I mean, it went to extra rounds, so. And AP, a lot of the Chinese teams are very strong on that map, too. So it is what it is. We'll see what they have in store this time as KLB just not ready for him through the smoke, as No does get one, but he immediately gets taken out. KLB gets another, though. There's still going to be advantage here to the side of TL as they make their way. Look at that quick rotation from Lloyd behind them. They have no idea. He picks up one kill, but does get traded out. As now the nade. Oh, it does chip away some damage on a 7-7. Maybe he actually jumped down to avoid it. I'm not 100% sure, but he takes a little chip of damage, stays alive. And KLP versus 2, not going to be easy for him.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, but 7-7 is actually kind of extending himself here. And, ooh, man, that was close. I was going to say, like, man, you know, for him, he has to be really careful what he's doing on this. He's got the low HP, so, I mean, for him to kind of go for the initiation of the fight, I don't hate it. But, again, you got to be careful you don't feed these one-on-ones because, again, Stallions, they will take those any day of the week. So now for KLP, trying to push through this fence. He misses another shot, and that's 2 in a row that he misses. So those opportunities slip away, and now Team Liquid, they come right back into this. And this is kind of what we were expecting, right? This is like, this one has a map or a 5 mapper written all over it.
It really does. I mean, the fact that Ankara is this close, and Danimal's a big kill there. Let's say he dodged it rather than KLP missed. Just a great dodge there from Danimals. But yeah, regardless, the shot doesn't hit, and that's the important part. And now it's 8-8. So Stallions, they were really trying to hype themselves up for like the end of this map. They had so much momentum. And just like that, that is the beauty of CROSSFIRE, where it's just gone in an instant. JJ Hay gonna take down Y. That is a big kill onto one of the bigger performing members of TL right now. So some of that aggression from Y has really, it's been paying off, and I do enjoy, I like that he goes for it again, but it's not going to work this time. And now Stallions, they had 4 people over by A. They've got KLP near spawn, and Loy kind of being the wild card guy who's just roaming around a little bit. But it does look like TL might be pushing into the B site here, not overcommitting just yet.
Yeah, look at how close I think that is. Loy, he's just kind of playing the anti-flash a little bit on this too. So again, for KLP, as soon as he hits or misses that shot, if they decide to go there, that's when he can either commit to the swing or he just kind of posts up. But seems like Team Liquid going to switch the plan just a little bit. But Danimals is already close into the site, so now this becomes a bit of an issue, a bit of a rise. And now all for Stallions. Wow, Noah's trying to contest this fight. How is he alive? How does he even get away with a 1? That is just insane. I can't believe it. And look at Loy. He just pops up like the boogeyman. Like, this is what I mean. How does Stallions get away with stuff like this? Like, you just think, like, again, Liquid look good. They're ready for the fight. They're ready for the execute. And then Stallions are like, nope, hang on. Going to dodge some bullets and just create a lot of havoc.
Yeah, it felt like they had an inkling that that bush was coming in, and Danimals got on the site, and it it kind of looked like they didn't know he was there, but then it was just the rest of Stallions came in so quickly before TL could really respond or react that they just get in and wipe them up real quick. So now map point here for Stallions, TL at 8. One round would push us into extra rounds and make this even more interesting. But I am curious to see how this one is going to go. As No playing contact here at the hotel. Certainly a risky spot to be in as he goes for the peek once again. He's going again, like he just keeps peeking them. And Loy actually gets sniped out at the same time, so that's a lot of firepower taken away from Stallions.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so exciting about this team, right? Like, it's just they never back down, right? It's just like no matter what the pressure is, whatever the situation is, it's just like, no, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to fight this. I don't care. Like, and that's where they're such a scrappy team, which makes it so fun to watch, right? Like, it's just so different than every other team that I feel like we get to see. So that's, again, I think contributes to their success, like how they've gotten to the place they've been in, right? Now we're considering as a top favorite in the tournament, so I'll have to see. But he does decide to pull back, right? He's like, okay, fine. I'm going to post up. He actually switches guns with his teammates, so this time he is going to have the TRG in his hands, and we did get to see a beautiful ace that he had in the last series on AG.AL, so we'll see if he can do something like that right now. Team Liquid ready for the plan of attack, and they're going to go for it. Adrian's going to be able to find that entry. No does respond back, and there it is. His teammates helping him out, but No now getting overwhelmed, taking a ton of damage, and KLB has to do something big, and that's not going to be too bad. And all of a sudden, you're talking about a legend versus a youngster, and it seems like the vet still has something in him to bring this extra rounds.
The dinosaur wins today over the youngin'. At least in that round, he has not won the map just yet, but Gokin gives a sigh of relief to all the TL fans and even the squad, because now we go into extra rounds. We talked how this should be a 5-mapper. Wouldn't be surprised to see multiple extra round mappers as well, if that's the way you say that. But yeah, it is so close between these teams. It is so hard to call. Very nicely done by TL to not just get swept aside. And now 7-7 going to start off with a nice snipe here on a KLB. And, you know, before TL, their GR side looked much stronger. And it kind of felt like they limped across the line there on the blacklist side, but they absolutely looked better here on the GR. So let's see if they got it in the tank once again. They start off with a nice little snipe. And maybe some aggression into mid is in store here from Stallions as Loy goes in. And that's going to be Adrian who sits him down.
Yeah, looking for No too. Like, I was thinking, like, you gotta be. I thought he was gonna press forward. I was like, no, come on. Like, you got the C4. You gotta be a little bit more tame than that. But no, he does regroup. Oh, they're gonna 3-man this. Very interesting. Okay, again, no, there shouldn't be much of a threat here. 7-7 is close, but he misses the shot. Ooh, but he gets that rebound of a kill. And there's Y being able to find that secondary. KLP doesn't really seem like he's prepared for it. Again, he was kind of pre-aiming kind of towards Y, but then kind of like, well, I should clear fence first. And it was just kind of like, it was just weird. It almost felt like he was thinking about all these options, and then he's like, I'm just going to swing. And then nothing happened, right? But nonetheless, really nice hold from Liquid, being able to just lock it down once again. And that's where we go back where we were talking about their GR side, right? I mean, that was what was the most impressive thing for them. Like, again, just very textbook, very technical. Everything was just playing properly in the rotation, so it still pans out that way.
Yeah, and it's going to be gigantic for TL if they can continue to string some rounds here from the GR side and just get so much momentum in these extra rounds. They're going to go for a peek in mid, and it's working out for the beginning, and then it does get cleaned up by No and KLP. And those two names are a bit of an issue as Gokin not going to hit that shot. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that No and KLP get those kills and they clean it up and they stay alive, they're not the ones that go down, I think gives Stallions a decent shot here. But No, looking around the corner, does get that kill in the 7-7. It's not traded out just yet, but Gokin is looking for the one tap with the pistol. Not going to get it, and No health is just taking down everyone. This guy is a madman, but once again, he gets sat down by Gokin. And it's all up to Gokin here in the 1v2. Feels like a pretty good shot for him, honestly, especially from these positions. And the fact, I mean, Although there is a lot of utility here on the side of Stallions, and they are going to get this plant. So not going to be the easiest clutch for Gokin, but he's done crazier stuff.
He absolutely has. And now, I mean, for Loy, he's got to be careful. That's a good flash, and he actually swings with it. Good teamwork. Yeah, so KLP just, again, setting up the shot, and then his teammate just being able to get the drive. So very well done. But again, like, it comes down to a heroic round from No, just being able to push right through the middle of the map. He cuts right down the middle, and then he just cuts, you know, all these rotates off guard. And he was still going for more, right? Like, Gokin's like, are you seriously doing this right now? And then, like, he takes him out, but by then the damage was already done. So that's the thing. 24-15. Like, are you absolutely kidding me? This kid does not stop, man. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, he's already a bit of a superstar in the CROSSFIRE scene. And he is putting up the most numbers so far. Gokin, I think, technically has a better KD at this point with less deaths. But it's something that Sneaky talks about as well on the desk, where Noah's, you know, he's very aggressive. He's an entry player, so to have such high KD numbers and even average damage is kind of unheard of for his position. So really good stuff from the lad, and it's certainly not over yet, regardless of numbers. We have the smokes over the top and a full execute onto A, which we oftentimes do see. And Adrian and Y hold this off with flying colors. Finally, No comes in, but he gets wiped up. And Adrian and Y together just get the job done.
He's getting loud, too. You can see him getting up. He's yelling at him. They're feeling it now. We're getting deep into the extra rounds, and this is where Liquid, once again, perfect hold. Honestly, this GR side, I cannot stress it enough. It's just been so magnificent to watch, just because it seems like Stallions, like, they have to rely on somebody just popping off and just kind of then breaking the armor a little bit. Otherwise, it just feels like it's shining bright. But now we get to see things a little switched over now. Team Liquid will be on the BL side to see if they can close off this game. But at this point, Valdez, I mean, maybe golden round, I don't know. But I'm just saying, it's like it feels like it's going to be like that, right?
I mean, we've already had a decent amount. I think we've had 2 in this tournament so far, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
Because it's difficult to get to a golden round, as you guys know.
It does take a lot to get there. That's for sure. But, you know, this is great for Stallions, though, too, right? Like, let's not forget, last time they played, the fact that you're sitting this close of a game, that is going to feel better, too, right? Because I feel like there's always that mental hurdle about, like, hey, we got to do a better scoreline, we got to make this more competitive, and then you can kind of just forget about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of that, like, that scratch or that itch that you have, and then you're like, okay, now I'm good. We're fine. But now they just got to close it. That's their thing. But we'll see.
Yeah. Just try to go for the closeout. We do have a big grouping up here in the middle of the map. And Gokin just going for the lineup. Looks like maybe a bit of a underneath B push. Looks like 3 guys from the side of Stallions are on the side of this map. As a lot of smokes are being thrown in. A flash over the top to get them in. And Loy just goes for the react flash. The anti there, as it is going to be Y who does get taken out in the flash. You can see Adrian, they get delayed quite a lot by Loy, who also gets a kill, and now No comes over, picks up 1 from the top, and he's dropping out of the sky onto them. Mr. Animals doesn't have any HP. He's going to go down.
Oh, man.
And that is a Stallions round win if I've ever seen one.
How do you not love that, right? Like, it's just, again, like, this guy's Batman. He's just flying down, grappling, and he's just taking these 2 guys with him. Like, he does not care. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go for the duel. I'm going to win this. Like, he knows he can outfrag them. Like, that's the thing. When you have that much confidence and it's just oozing off, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Liquid, again, they just go like, man, are you for real? Like, that you can't counter that, right? Like, when someone just does something like that and just pops off, like, how do you slow it down? So for these guys, you can see they got a little bit caught off guard, but now they take down a big threat. Not bad at all. KLP will go down instantly.
Yeah. I feel like KLP was really the number 2 to No's number 1 for the squad coming into this tournament. I do think he's not playing at full potential here on this first map. There have been a lot of times where he's just getting picked off for not a lot of value. So
I agree.
We'll keep an eye on his form for the rest of the series. We know what he's capable of, that's for sure. And it's more than this. But TL are a strong team, so what can you do? Already 2 kills taken down. And No is behind them. They don't seem to have any way to deal with this. Finally, Danimals takes him out as they They try to push in 3v5 off of that flank from No. It was crazy that it almost worked, but...
And like the one round where like No's not hitting the shots, right? Like really tough angles to hit, right?
Yeah.
But again, if he would have been able to find that one kill, like again, that could have created a little bit of extra space for his teammates to be able to fly through the front side here. So, good reaction from Danimals though, honestly, being able to find that double kill. Perfectly done. Now we're in the last round, potentially. Otherwise, we go to the golden round like I was predicting. So we'll see. Team Liquid just need to find some way for one more step to get across this finish line here on Ankara as the opening map of this big best of 5 here in the semifinals.
Yeah. And I do think the young kids on the side of Stallions, they are so talented, but sometimes when it does come down to the wire like this, they like to take it into their own hands more than not, I'd say.
Yeah.
To put it one way, so that's why you get flanks out of No. That's why you get some pushes from these guys. They certainly play an aggressive brand of CROSSFIRE, but I think that TL have responded very well to it. I feel like they're adjusting very well. They're waiting for the pushes. They're trying to bait out Stallions into their guns. I say that, and they push directly into No. I don't know what's going on with my caster curses today. It's insane.
It's on point. I'm not going to lie. It is absolutely on point. Now he's on a triple kill. Like, this is now where he is single-handedly just putting up all the duels. He wants to get almost that quad. He can't. You can see him just hammer-fisting the desk, and he's like, I needed it. I absolutely needed it.
Oh.
And now he's relying on his teammate, KLP, to do something big. Unfortunately, he hasn't been the clutch factor for this team yet. But let's not forget that C4 is dropped right in front of him. He has an opportunity. Look at Goken's position. He's hoping that KLP is going to go for the little bit of the top site so they might be able to find that pick off. And 7-7's low on the HP department. KLP has to be very careful about what he wants to do here.
I mean, KLP's getting that info that the bomb is on the ground, and he's like, well, you guys have to come to me. So I feel like he's playing it well so far.
Yeah, he's playing the close angle here too, right? Like I talked about, Goken can't pick him off here, so that's a good thing. Oh, 7-7, you got to be careful here.
Well, also, KLP has to be careful. I mean, he's wide open in the door. He's not looking the right way. No. He gets the kill. And now Goken just one shot, and that will be TL to take map number 1, their map of Ankara. They barely get across the line, but a win is a win. It's a great start here for TL.
It really is. Yeah, Team Liquid were able to get themselves done here on Ankara, but it took a lot of effort to get there. You can see Stallions putting everything they could into that, almost making it the golden round situation, but again, like you just get to see No putting up a triple kill like that, almost making it the quad. If he would have been able to find that, could have changed everything.
Yeah, No's going to be kicking himself for that one, but he did so much work in that first map. There is a long series ahead of both of these teams, and guys, we're going to head over to the desk in just a moment. We'll be back.
Well, it's a battle reminiscent of what we witnessed a couple of days ago. Back and forth they go, but Team Liquid hits the final shot needed to put Stallions down 0-1 in the series. Ankara going their way. The fans are getting loud on the TL side. Stallions, they need to match that energy going into subbase map number 2. Hey, welcome back into the Allianz Vault. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, Sneaky Frog, Kyle. What a game one we had, Kyle. We knew it was going to go the distance. I didn't expect, though, to see round 13 this early.
Honestly, a crazy finish. I mean, you've got Kano putting up 31 kills, but they still can't find the win. And it just goes to show you what Team Liquid is capable under this kind of pressure.
He got 31. Last time I wrote it down, he was at 20 plus.
Yeah, insane performance individually, but at the end of the day, it's a team game, and Team Liquid come out in spades here.
Yeah, it's one of the things we've been discussing, right? When it comes to Stallions, you know No is going to be consistent. The rest of the roster needs to back him up. Either way, though, they played very well. How can you complain with 13-11 outside of obviously taking the loss? But for Team Liquid, what a lights out performance. Their energy on stage, I don't think I've ever seen it anything like it.
Yeah, especially knowing how intense the game is, right? But I really like that Team Liquid did not forget their prerogative. Their prerogative is to bait in Team Stallions to a very, very bad fight, and it has been done countless of times in this game. And despite it being so close, the Animals did not forget the game plan. You have to bait Stallions into making some bad decisions, and that they did. And with Y having a hot start in this one, you know, SDS, the Riflers especially, they need to do better.
Gokhan hits the final shot, and Gokhan, my goodness, was he playing well. We talked about it, Kyle, and how instrumental he is to this roster. Well, in game one, he was everything.
Yeah, honestly, he's the key sniper you need. We talk about the other elite snipers, but a lot of them still look up to Gokhan because he knows how to control the map. That is his key to success here. And not only that, he has even more firepower behind him as well. And you can see it here as we take a look at the scores. Gokhan at 26, but the rest of his team not too far behind him.
Yeah, not too far behind. They were highly consistent. I mean, you've got Y pulling off 2,300 damage. Adrian as well with 2,400. Sensational stats on the side of TL. We look at the side, though, of Stallions. No, that 31 bomb, as you mentioned just a little bit earlier. JJ, though, with only 9 compared to the rest, which is 15 and 13. Where did JJ lack during this game number one?
I feel like his positioning was kind of a bit off, especially knowing how key he is when it comes to the A defense. And every single time, it seems like Team Liquid has found him kind of caught in the middle, maybe downstairs as well. There were a lot of times where he's just got flashed time and time again, and it just seems like Team Liquid knows exactly where he is 24/7.
Yeah, I think that's the big difference between these two teams. The trade game from Team Liquid is just phenomenal right now, but it seems like Stallions want to play a more individual approach and taking those aim duels. But right now, No is the only one winning those aim duels. They need to find a way to have a little bit stronger team synergy, especially with a map like Subbase on the horizon.
That's right, Subbase on the horizon. Will it be a different story for the Stallions, or will Team Liquid close the door once again and lead 2-0? Yesterday, the comms were flowing as they needed to be. We crushed 4 keys, and we also solidified our playoff bracket. Now we're down to our top 4 teams, but I want to listen in to what everyone had to say yesterday out on the battlefield with our Sadia radio comms.
Right. Bin. Napaisa.
Nice! Kalma. Nice! Pat yan na, pre! Nice! Wow!
Yo! Porte!
楼一层121血2残废，别急50，再打。
海边2楼，
大题狙掉，
漂亮！
帮你了，
我这下了，漂亮！
At the Sony manga booth for the One Piece experience, and as you can see, it is absolutely massive. One Piece fans, you need to come check this out because you do not want to miss this. Now, there is a special secret that we can activate here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I could figure out how to do just that. Kaki Atsume, Sagashimono, Sagashi Yunosa. One Piece. You can feel all of the emotion coming from each of these individual panels. Oh wait, we got a color. Quick, we have 2 minutes. Well, don't just stand there holding a light. Help me. Time's up. Did I do it? I did it. Yeah. And of course, you have to make your final stop at the One Piece photo booth so you can figure out what your bounty is. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, just under 3 mil. You know what? We take that. Look how freaking cute. Oh my God! So please come out and experience One Piece as it has not been experienced before. I mean, come on!
Obviously, he's having an absolute blast out there. So much to do around the venue and a lot to see, including Kadia, right? Going over there to stage 2. Kadia City Grid is absolutely lit. And we've got Trav on site to give us a club championship update powered by Aramco.
We're over at the Kadia City Grid where Fortnite is now into its survival stage, which should mean some club championship teams are at risk, Lauren.
At risk?
No.
No. Because they're in our top 6 right now, okay? We are at the halfway point of our games on the day. Obviously, the biggest story in the survival stage right now is AG.AL. Heading into match number 5, they were in the top 6, which is where you need in order to be safe, but they were in 6th. So not super safe, just in a good position heading into the second half of our day. However, 2 other CC teams are at the top of our leaderboard. That's T1 and Furia. Now, they're not obviously at the top of the CC leaderboard discussion, but if they're able to get through to finals and get a top 8 finish, those points they earn could potentially change where they are and then earn them some more CC prizing.
Well, it's the same to be said for Fury and CS2 as well, so we'll see if they can pull off the double whammy in the last week of the EWC.
Thank you, Trav and Glitter Explosion, for the excellent update here on our stage in the Allianz Vault. However, Stallions and Team Liquid, they've got unfinished business. They still need to decide who's moving forward to grand finals and who's having their key crushed. Just earlier on Ankara, it went 13-11. It went the distance, but Team Liquid managed to get the win. This time around, they go to sub base. Now, Loy was poking the bear. I don't know if you caught it, but did you see him shooting some bodies? Seems like this matchup might be more personal than we thought.
Yeah, and of course, fully knowing that Liquid and Stallions can get very heated in the server. You know, they can be friends outside, but on the inside, it is going to be enemies in sub base.
Yeah, I feel like going into this one, Stallions really just have to get that extra little bit we were missing in map number 1, because this was still a close finish in map 1, and they just need the rest of this core to step up around. No, I mean, if you get another 31 kill map that feels like you should have won, it's going to be a brutal way to go down for Stallions.
Last time sub base, we saw 10-7 score line for Stallions. That was a couple days ago on the B stream. It was No who pulled off 28 total kills, the man on your screen. But man, it's not going to be easy by any means. I mean, they've got to dig deep. This matchup should be at least going to a game 5. If it does, we'll be seeing Porte. But for now, for sub base, this is one Stallions arguably need to win. Being down 2-0 in a series, Sneaky, they're in trouble if that happens.
Oh, for sure, because being down 2-0 in the series, that means the Animals has the kill shot on your team, so it has to be all of the members actually stepping up to the plate, especially JJ. This sub-base map could be the key to him coming back. If that doesn't happen, it might be doom and gloom.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you need these extra riflers on top of that KLP to continue to perform as well, because Gouken on the other side, that sniper versus sniper duel is going to be so key in this matchup.
Yeah, Gouken pulling off a tremendous amount of elims, 26 in fact, No with 31 just last game. Can they do it again? Well, they're going to have to. It's Stallions versus Team Liquid, a personal matchup when you think about it. Only one moves forward, one key gets crushed. Who's going to take sub base? Let's go to the casters to find out.
Thank you very much, guys. We are ready for sub base. This is where the hype really begins, with Stallions on this map and TL looking to defend against their choice. And I can't wait to see what we have in store already. We've had a very close one on Ankara, 13-11. And once again, expecting this one to be an extremely close affair at this point in time. It is going to be, of course, Team Liquid who decide to start here on the Blacklist side. And let's see what kind of momentum they can get going, as their GR definitely looked better on Ankara, but we'll have to wait and see what this looks like.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, like last time these two teams went head-to-head, I mean, let's not forget that was Stallions able to find that 10-7. So again, this is where they were able to get it, but it's kind of almost like a moot point at this remark now, because we talked about Ankara and like they were, Liquid were able to get a dominant win. This time it was a little bit closer than that. Obviously had to go the full distance. So these teams are primed and ready with everything at stake. Like we talked about, Key will be destroyed for the loser of this entire best of 5, but we're only in the second map, so plenty more to go. But I am generally curious about Team Liquid's BL side, because again, I felt like Ankara, it wasn't too bad, but it was really that GR side that was the moneymaker, right? That was the bread and butter. That's the comfort food. That was the thing that was just so reliable. So we'll have to see if they can do it here and now, because Stallions have proven they are a very strong GR-sided team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a B hit here. A couple of guys going down through computers, and we do have Loy not able to stop that aggression in through jail, and this is a very nice execute from the side of TL. They make their way in onto the B side. They get this plant down. And JJ and KLB have to try to retake this one. They know where they are, and that's going to make it even more difficult as already KLB goes down. And that'll be the end of JJ as well. Nearly a flawless round here. A quick one from TL. They started out just as dominant on Ankara, and you got to like their ability to just get right onto the horse right from round one.
No, absolutely. And I love the fact that they're just doing a great job just playing off each other, and they're just, again, just utilizing their system and the protocols. So that was it was a really clean round for the BL side, and it was looking decent for Stallions in the sense that they had the rotates already kind of sorty getting in there, and their positioning seemed not too bad, but Team Liquid just did a great job for just cleaning up all the hazards that were in front of them. So now it looks like it's going to be the A-pop. Okay, KLB, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Oh, you might be overwhelmed here. Yeah, and indeed he is. Teammates are starting to, try to get the rotate back. Team Liquid have to make a quick decision. Do you want to stay for this, or do you want to just pull back? It looks like they actually might retreat this, and I don't blame them because, again, they're taking a bit too long. Good utility work from Stallions.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit crazy for JJ to go down there and try to throw an extra nade. He nearly gets punished, but they do rotate out. It's a quick rotation, and maybe this catches Stallions off guard. We do have Lloyd pushing through the vent, though, but they're already in the B site. So Noah's like, hey, guys, they're behind us, and they are onto the site already. As Y does start it off with a kill onto KLP. As now here come the reinforcements. Y is going to be taken out in Dark Room, and it is only a 7-7 on the site at the moment. He is going to get the one kill, and down he goes, and now Goken has to get the angle. And he's just looking for the aggression. They're pushing into him, and that's a free kill there. Goken is super low, but I think he can just play this angle as the sniper especially. No has to come up here. And he's going to drop down and go around the back.
It's going to be too late now.
And yeah, he just doesn't have the timing. Goken going to go in the corner, maybe.
Maybe I'm going to need my own words.
Oh, this is so close. Oh, my God. He gets it.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, I love it. I think I could be wrong, but I feel like he might have messed up the first jump initially because I think he was trying to get on top of the sight box and then jump on top, but I think he might have misclicked it, because he went down, but I could be wrong, but it looked like he was trying to attempt it.
Let's see.
Because he does it here. Yeah, it's not this one. Yeah. I was going to say, no, he definitely did it there. Don't worry. But no, that was really good for him to respond to that. But again, Goken played that very, very well. He had to burn the time as much as possible. Not easy to do, but he was doing a great job, right? Just kind of jiggling in and out, just being a nuisance, being a bit of a pest. But unfortunately, for him, just, again, great mechanics and just gets himself a nice little bit of a sliver of timing that he could work with.
Yeah, very nicely played from both sides, and that is Stallions on the board. There have been so many rounds already where it feels like Stallions, they win the round, but it's like we have to all be sweating and biting our nails, and it's not easy picking. So still kind of giving that slight advantage over to the side of TL in their ability to get cleaner rounds, and of course they do have a map under their belt already, even though it was a close one. And now it looks like TL maybe rotating over towards the machine room here. Some extra util going to be thrown forward from Stallions in the middle of this round. This very nice little tap from Loy. And he's got backup over here as well.
Yeah, Loy thankfully can get himself out of this nade position. Oh, actually does get the duel, but he does go down to that utility. So, I mean, again, that was a tough one because, again, he was getting already cleared. So at least he could be able to find one kill if he could. 3v3. Ooh, Danimals. Okay. I'm actually curious who called the timeout. Okay, well, we'll find out. That's fine.
Pretty interesting timing. I mean, this is a very close round, and it's 1-1. But we sometimes see this, especially when the coaches want to fix something that they do not like what they're seeing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, curious to see where that will be going. We did have Danimals win the fight here in the vents, and that's going to give TL a decent shot at still winning this round. Only 30 seconds left, and it does look like they want to head towards the A site at this point, as they do push into woods.
I think he does have a flash, too, for KLB. So I was thinking, again, he could just play behind the site, just burn the flash, again, just allow his teammates to get here. But he's going to make sure he's looking at this. KLB important. Okay, he throws it. Oh, that's actually a bit too far, I think. Actually, it does connect on the 2, so that's not bad. Does find that one kill. It's just only the 1, but 7 seconds. They might be able to have enough time for this plant. Oh, man. That timer seems to be just going out really close here, Valdez. And now JJ does find a kill, caught in the kneecaps, but he's still alive. He's still got some fight in him, and he still clutches.
Oh, that is crazy. That is exactly what this team needs as well, because our desk was talking about it. If JJ can, you know, get on form and kind of pick it up a little bit, they are going to be unstoppable. And the fact that he's able to clutch that 1v2 is quite large for his confidence, for the team's confidence in him. And yeah, we did have a pause. We'll see what that is about.
Maybe a tech issue?
Certainly possible. I didn't see the, 0 out of 1 timeout indicator pop up. So.
Yeah, because it's usually pretty quick, right? So, and I mean, that one player in the end of Liquid, like, you and I were both kind of looking at each other like he was taping his ear. So I think the earpiece is probably just not properly fitting his ear, so like maybe something happened. Again, I'm speculating here, so who knows, but it's a guessing game over here, but that's okay. Hopefully back into it soon, but again, both these teams just doing everything they can, and honestly, very, very good clutch factor from JJ. That was great to see. I know Sneaky was talking a little bit about him too, and it's great to see him kind of stepping up when he needs, and the fact that honestly that, the sniper shot that hit him in the leg should have been a done deal, and look at that, the consequence when you don't get that frag, right? Like that's where, the sniper can be so deadly, but it's like when you give someone that second chance, when you hit them once, it's like, man, it just feels like a punch to the gut, really. So.
Yeah, can be difficult to feel good about for sure, but we know what these snipers can do. It looks like someone on the end there for TL is dealing with something, so trying to get that fixed. Maybe a small headset issue before we do hop back into the action.
I do have fun trivia for you. So I was thinking about this when you talked about Goken as the dinosaur, and I talked about No as the youngster. Okay, can you guess the age gap in between these two? Because I got it in front of me, so I'll tell you.
Okay. Well, I know how old No is, and Goken I have somewhat of an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to say 14 years.
Apparently only 11.
Really?
So, yeah, Goken.
Goken's younger than I thought.
Yeah, Goken actually, it looks like he's only 27, and then you have No that's 16. So.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but again, it's still, like 10 years is a long time, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty significant. And like, again, when you go back into looking at Goken's history and just like his accomplishments and everything, what he's been able to do, like, again, he's been competing way back even in 2018, and then when you go to No, it's like, yeah, I've been playing, high level since only 2024. So
yeah.
It's like, all right, well, yeah, that's just, anyways, a little bit of fun fact. I was thinking a lot about that after. I was like, I wonder how old he is, like considering. So nonetheless, yeah, both these players really stepping up, though. I love it. Because I remember when I joined CrossFire quite a few years ago, about just hearing a lot about Goken and just like what he's been able to do. And I remember he wasn't playing for a while, and then he came back, obviously, right? And then I was like, okay, I've heard so much about him. And then I finally, we finally get to see him at EWC, and just like how much he can be such a demon in the server, right? So, yeah, it's definitely exciting to see.
Yeah, Goken is that guy, and he's a bit of a world traveler as well. Yeah, he is. He's tried his hand at many a team and many an angle in the CrossFire scene, streaming and stuff. And we know he is a demon, and his age, it feels old, but actually it's quite young, as you were saying, Still a lot of time for this player, hopefully, within this CrossFire scene to give us many more years, as he certainly still has it.
He does.
And I think that's a little bit of an understatement.
And it's, the thing that's really interesting about it too, and I think it was Kyle that kind of brought it up at the desk, is like Goken it's one of those things where he's been able to place top placements in tournaments, but I don't think he's actually been able to find himself an actual championship, right? Like It's one of those players where you kind of look and go, man, like what a dynasty, what a legend, what a path. And it's just, he needs that, I feel like he just needs that victory to just be like, okay, I've done it. I've done everything I need to do. Getting an EWC championship obviously means the world for many different reasons, right? But what a way to just solidify your career even more, right? And we talked about GOATs, we talked about, legends in the game, and it's like, again, I feel like we're already calling him a legend, but that just really solidifies and puts the cherry on top.
Yeah.
But we're back in it.
We are back into the action. Not too long of a delay, so that's nice. Looks like, I think it was 7-7 was having a little bit of an issue with his earpiece. He gets that fixed, and we jump straight back into it. Team Liquid, I'm sure they would have liked to get a little bit more momentum here to start from the Blacklist side. They get the 1 round, and of course we had the very close one where Goken almost clutched it against No, but couldn't quite hold on to the timer, as we barely had the defuse there from No in the 1v1. So on the same note, Stallions just barely getting that lead in this one, and now Team Liquid going to take this one a little bit slower, as they're just waiting maybe for Stallions to pressure them. Maybe getting a little, expecting them to get a little antsy after that pause, perhaps.
Yeah, possibly. And I mean, that when you have those kind of timeouts, right, we talk a lot about that, where it can just play like kind of going back into the mind games and like a little bit more of that just momentum and just delaying things. It can definitely make an impact on any player or any team, right? So that's where, you know, obviously it was just a tech issue, but it's just kind of those, like, the aftermath of things like that can be a little bit problematic. Sometimes even an advantage for teams, right, where now Liquid could just a couple extra minutes to breathe, and they're like, okay, they're not talking strats or anything, obviously, but it's just like they can at least like individually mentally cool down and go, okay, let's get myself back in this game. Let's figure this out. It is still very, very close. So, but at least it does something, right? So it's got some pros. It's got a couple cons, but we'll have to see.
They absolutely do. And Team Liquid still waiting back on their hind legs, expecting Stallions to move, but Stallions haven't moved at all. They haven't gotten much information either, not that there is much to get at this point. We have 2 people trying to push down the A stairs, trying to get the swing on in, but they push away, and the rotation did come out from Stallions away from the B site as they try to move on over. And again, there's only 20 seconds left, so they got to push here. They're being wiped up already. It's only Goken here in the lockers, and yeah, he can hit some shots, but okay, he can hit 2 shots, but only 12 seconds left, and he still has to take down 2. They should not peek him here. There's just no reason to, and they do a great job of that. Swings out with 5 seconds left. Nicely done from Lloyd to finish it off, and that's 3 on the scoreboard for Stallions.
Yeah, that's great. It's, you know, like you said, it was just where the discipline has to kick in here for Stallions, and you don't overswing that. That's where I think that temptation normally would just hit them, right? They're like, yep, I'm going to go for the frag, but it's like probably their teammate yelling, like, absolutely not. Like, we were less than 10 seconds. Do not feed him. And he's like, he was absolutely cracking heads. So that's the thing. But JJ now, actually a really nice play, takes down Danimals. He was getting ready for the pop flash, and look at that. JJ's able to find himself another kill, so that's huge. Team Liquid now a little bit in the blender, and now No with a big flank. Like, he just gets away with running across the map, and this is another potentially quick round. Loy's trying to see what he can be able to do, but 7-7 does reply back. Should be short-lived. Good kill from Loy. Now it's Goken one more time in the clutch factor, but let's not forget, this is KLP, very lit. They have to be very careful about this. Loy, oh my goodness, okay. He will go for the swing, and Stallions, what a way to find themselves another round.
Yeah, that's a big one. I think that, you know, they didn't go aggressive on the last round, but they were certainly going to eventually. We saw it happen here, as this is the end of it. Goken kind of gets caught a little bit after he misses that one shot. It was a difficult shot to hit. No blame given there. But he misses the shot. He tries to get down the stairs again, running with a nade in his hand, just gets shot down by Loy. So, yeah, a little bit rough at the end there, but really the beginning of the round, which was the part that was a lot more interesting for me, where they just push into woods, they win an aggressive play, and the No is just coming out here. I feel like, TL, if you're going to play passively, you have to have the middle of the map covered. Like, you have to be able to stop No from getting that free swing onto Adrian. As Adrian was probably shouting, like, where did this guy come from?
Why is he here? Like, what is he doing?
Where's the rest of my team? Like, shouldn't they be covering my back? And I think they should have been, but props to No for somehow squeaking his way through the defenses of the Blacklist side. In that case. Now we do have them maybe going for an earlier push into B.
Yeah, it's all about the timing here too, right? KLP's primed and ready. And then he's got Loy joining with him. So this is all about, if he can land this first shot, that would be a great way to just, again, slowing down this. But no, Goken just gets one better. What a nice little bit of a swing into that. And now Goken now primed and ready here in lockers. Ooh, just missing barely the head of No. He's just hunting for it. He's trying. It's a little bit of whack-a-mole. Finally connects something, but KLB gives something here with the sniper on the Stallion side. And Y down to 1 HP. 7-7, he's going to try to contest here. He's going to channel his inner Goken here if he can. Does one shot, he says, nah, I'm good, actually. Let's not. Let's go back. Good utility work from Stallions, though, right? They block off that main choke point. They just, with the smoke, and now for Liquid, they can reset. But at least for Stallions, it just gives them a moment to breathe.
Yeah, it was very nicely challenged from Stallions for that push in the lockers. I feel like when Goken set up like that and he got the first kill as well to get you in, like, I think TL should have been able to find a way to get into the site, but it was a heavy lockers push, which means that you don't have a lot of support from mid, from like a hallway push or angles on utility. So maybe they didn't quite have the angle. And Loy is just gonna sweep him up there, just waiting from the dark room. And Loy is having a big map so far. I mean, some of the guys that weren't putting up numbers in Ankara, such as JJ and Loy, they're the ones that are carrying now.
Yeah, and this is the thing that I love that Sneaky brought up, right? Like he was talking so much about Loy, and he's like, look, as soon as Loy just kind of gets activated, that's going to be different for Stallions. And now you get to see it, right? Now we're talking about him sitting at an 8-3. It's just not the Kano show, right? It's like other team members are starting to pick up the slack, if you will, if you want to even call it that. But this is good to see, because now that's where, again, every player, like we talked about, there's so many stars on this. It's just a moment, when are we going to see them shine bright, right? And that's where now Loy, he's looking good, man. He's definitely becoming a little bit of a problem here for Liquid. They weren't expecting it. And a 4-round lead is definitely a statement, because now they've secured the half, right? I mean, this first half is theirs. Like, so even if they lose out, it's still going to be a nice lead regardless. But if they could be able to find like 1 or 2 more Valdez, like that would just be gigantic, right? Like, what a way for you to transition to that BL side of a map like this.
Yeah, and really after that one round that No took down the 1v1 against Goken, since then it's been, you know, a pretty back and forth affair in terms of firepower, but the maps, the rounds rather, are being won by Stallions. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, it's been all one-sided since that moment. And I think it is definitely a good time for them to call attack pause and try to slow it down and just recollect themselves. They don't want to lose too many rounds. We know what Stallions can do from Blacklist as well in this map. So got to be careful. And we do see them taking their time with this. It looks like maybe a Vents push.
Ooh,
so
okay.
A little bit spicy.
That's bold.
If they do go for that. But
maybe drop off halfway through. But the thing is you have No. Like, he's kind of, again, playing in that room. Like, he can easily jump spot that. And that, if he gets that information, like, oh, what's this? Oh, okay, I was like, that's surely not a smoke. That'd be ridiculous. But anyways, no. Actually, they're going to be able to drop in. So, okay, actually, that slip of timing is No prepared. Oh, apparently he is. Oh, man. I don't understand.
Is he prepared?
Is he prepared? Why do we even ask that question? But okay, he does go down. All right, this guy does get a little bit of a defeat, but look at KLB right there to hold his hand and say, look, man, I got you. I got you. Fist bumps down here from Stallions and a 6-1 scoreline. So, look, a quick reminder, last time these guys played each other just the other day, this was a 10-7 for Stallions, but this is already a little bit concerning for Liquid fans because they've been doing some things right, but again, it just seems like they're kind of getting caught in like a little bit of choke points, and I feel like the utility from Stallions is a huge improvement than what we saw before. So, big moment here for Liquid to call things out in the tactical, because they have to do it here and now. I mean, it is essentially make it or break it in my perspective.
Yeah, and this is a crucial moment in our CROSSFIRE series in the semis. Want to give you a little update from Counter-Strike, actually. We do have Team Falcons going down in the quarterfinals. So that is pretty early on for them, and it is such a tight race between Team Falcons, AG.AL, Team Vitality, even Na'Vi, trying to push up towards the top 2 spots in the club championship. And with a quarterfinals loss from Team Falcons, not able to push farther in another game here this week at Counter-Strike 2. And so might give some of these other teams a little bit of a better shot of taking over the top spot, which Falcons do still hold at the moment. But we'll see how the week does end up. It's not over yet. We got a lot of games, heading towards its finality, towards Saturday, Sunday, and we'll see how it does end up. So that's how it's going for the club championship. With that result, we do have the replay here of KLB finishing it off. And No is like, I did my job, you do yours. Everybody is playing it to a high level, and this is sub-base Stallions. This is what you got to expect.
Absolutely. No question about it. And the thing for Stallions too is like their setup hasn't really changed overly too much. I mean, the thing is like, they haven't really had to be ultra aggressive at times. We've seen those individual pushes at some random peaks, but nonetheless, they've really been just doing a great job on their system here. So their coach has been able to really give some good advice. Think little things that they had to adjust, and it already looks like it's doing wonders for these guys. But Liquid, again, I'm curious on that conversation with the coach, because it feels like when things are getting a little bit tough, that's when it gets clustered, and it seems to be very, you know, I hate saying disjointed, but like kind of in a way, if that makes sense. Like I remember a couple of rounds ago, they were trying to go through the A stairs, and then one flash, it just seemed like they had no idea what they wanted to do, and then they were like deciding if they wanted to commit or not. So that's tough, right? Like making those split-second decisions and those calls can be tight, but we'll see. Maybe good for Danimals just to have a moment here with his fellow coach to be able to have a conversation. Wood control will be theirs, though. And they could try to go for this pop if they want. KLB does have the sniper, so he's going to be posted up in the back of truck.
Yeah, this from TL is just trying to smoke out everything and essentially say, you won't know where we're coming from. But as they do push in, KLB's trying to get that one tap. He's not going to get it. Up from the top of computers, JJ does get the one kill. And an 8 actually is going to delay the plant quite a bit here. Adrian pretty low himself, so they got to be careful about that residual damage. KLP takes out 7-7. And this push has been slowed up quite a bit. Goken not going to hit the shot, and he gets traded down by Loy. And JJ gets Adrian. It's only Danimals, and he is alone in the 1v3. Not looking good for him, and the flank comes in. No takes him down. It's 7 rounds for Stallions.
Honestly, you know, we made the analogy about like or the metaphor about talking about the, you know, the gas in the tank, and I mean, honestly, maybe that's just what it is. I mean, that first map was very tight. It got, you know, the conversation of pushing golden round, but like even the fact that, you know, Goken's not hitting the same shots that we normally see, like that's tough, right? And now we're talking about a 6-round buffer here for Stallions. So this is where these guys are, you know, starting to be warmed up. You know, the Stallion side, they're starting to purr. So I think Team Liquid getting a little bit of that, tasting some medicine here, which isn't great. But that's going to help them to get that Kickstarter, but it is a trade-off immediately. No is able to find that that trade back, I should say. Not opening duel, but opening duel for Stallions, I guess. And now, Team Liquid do have themselves into control room a little bit here, but we'll see if they can maintain that control.
Yeah, essentially just waiting back. You saw Y was talking quite a lot on the mic as he was pushing into machine room and just trying to... I think he was relaying that Loy was pushed up and maybe try to like isolate him and take him down. He did a little bit of damage to Loy, but Loy got out. And then JJ tried to push through Woods, so TL very much sitting, waiting for Stallions to make the first move. And it kind of ends up in a bit of a stalemate, a very similar amount of damage done to both sides. And the way things are going, I mean, this has got to favor Stallions as, I mean, you know, even map state, even round state, I should say, and they can just try to group up and go for a push. But so far, the wind has been taken out of the sails of Team Liquid, as we can very much see, as you see KLB trying to just get info, not even sticking around for the shots. He just comes in, he says, okay, they're in woods now, 50 seconds left. And really just not trying to play main contact. Now he does swing around and take some pot shots. But now they're kind of funneled in towards woods, and we already have no pushing out of mid as we speak. Here we go again.
Oh man, if he can get the timing of this, like this is just going to be a full backstab, and I mean, he might be able to. Look at how quick he is. Oh, actually, Danimals reads him. Okay. So Danimals finally gets some Spidey sense. Goken with the perfect timing and vent. So this is great from Liquid. Finally something to get a reaction from. All right, looks like they still got some oomph left in them, and there it is. Shot's going to be done. Danimals pulling up big when he needed to just close off the first half. So it's not going to be an 8-1. Instead, it will be a 7-2. Oh boy, that's something to work with here for Liquid. But man, I was losing my mind with Noah. I was like, there's no way he's going to do this again. Like he just goes for the ultra flank, but good reaction from the AG.AL of Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like they got the read on Stallions, but is it a little bit too little too late? Because, you know, Team Liquid locked in, but now JJ's winning 1v1s with Goken in the sniper spot of subbase. That is not going to feel good. No's going to get another kill. Danimals tries to push, and they're just being wiped up here. Again, I mean, Stallions love this map. You can see how comfortable they are here. And they're just swarming in. They look so strong from the Blacklist side. Nobody goes down. And you begin to wonder if this map is not just already over. Team Liquid have so much ground to make up.
Yeah, definitely. And I do like the idea that Liquid were trying there, right? Like you're trying the opening round when we switch sides and you're like, look, we're going to try to play a little bit more aggro. We're going to see if we can just find a timing. Maybe we can do something, but it just backfires entirely, right? I mean, this is the thing where you talk about Stallions. They love this map. And I mean, that's where it's created from Liquid, but now it's just not working out. They try it again. They already lose Adrian, so this is already costly for them. Nose just jumping. He's just like Bambi. He's just Bambi on ice. He's just running everywhere. And now 7-7's even like, oh man, like I got to reposition and I got to do all these things. C4's going to be in there. And look at Loy! Oh boy!
Yeah, this is getting ugly for Team Liquid. I mean, they're just being run around the map at this point. I don't really see an angle for them. Danimals has 9 health. And we got KLP coming out here, and he's going to take him down, sits him down. It's 9-2. Stallions just about locking in their map of sub-base. And as we said at the top of this entire best of 5, this should be a close one. It's going to be close when it comes down to the score line of the 1-1 in maps, but certainly a more dominant experience here from Stallions as now Team Liquid coming out pushing here a little bit. And once again, they're not having much luck as now Goken just being spammed out. He's not able to take any shots through there as KLP going to take down Danimals. Does get traded out. 7-7 actually with a couple of kills as he did push out quite a lot. And now JJ will deal with him. And the push will come through here onto the B site if they'd like, although they are going to come in here and take down Y, and that will be the end of the map, 10-2 in favor of Stallions.
Not bad at all from Stallions. Like we were kind of wondering if they had enough in them, but it seems like they do. And again, with a dominant win like that, that is going to make you feel pretty good to be back in this series. Again, a best of 5. So now we still have many maps remaining into this. So this is still up for anybody at this moment. But again, to win it in that kind of fashion, that is going to hurt. That's going to be leaving a mark here for Team Liquid. And this couple minutes, that's going to be a bit of a break. That's a lot of conversation to have and figure out how do you get back into this game mentally, not to be overwhelmed by the effects of Stallions.
Yeah, not going to be easy. We got an interesting series on our hands here, 1-1 in map scores. Stallions take down sub-base, and we'll have map 3 in just a moment.
And the Stallions answer back to Team Liquid's Ankara with a dominating win on sub-base, arguably their favorite and most dominant map. We now got a series, boys. It's tied up 1-1.
Yeah, and that sub-base looked miles apart from what we saw in map number 1, and obviously the map itself kind of enabled the entire playstyle of the side of Team Stallions, and we saw the resurgence of JJ, we saw the resurgence of Loy as well, and that was very well needed for the team.
Yeah, 100%. This team is now stepping up around their key fragger and showing us what they're made of. But not only that, you have the opposite side slipping now as well. It felt like there was moments where Goken would try to open up the round, but there was no one left on Team Liquid to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, you could definitely tell Goken was still on fire, playing incredibly well, but when he falls flat, so does Team Liquid. He truly is the Band-Aid keeping Team Liquid together. Not saying Team Liquid's not going to fight back in the previous match, but when it came to sub-base, though, he gave it his all, but unfortunately the rest of the team couldn't match his energies.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very difficult map to be in if you are Team Liquid, because you did notice that they're playing that very baity playstyle, but it is so hard to bait in a map like sub-base, right? If you are going to start the fight is just going to continue on, and Team Liquid, obviously the push-pull offense really is not that effective when it comes to this map as it is in Ankara.
We asked JJ to step it up after his map number 1 performance. Kyle, he did exactly that.
100%. You can see it even in the first couple of rounds. I believe he had 4 kills to open up this map. So I feel like a really good performance from him. But not only that, Loy being a key support player in those really pivotal moments. And I feel like moving forward, if they can keep playing at this level, it's going to be a really tough game ahead for Team Liquid. And you can see it here in the scores.
Yeah, and then obviously it's a massive performance here from JJ, massive performance here from No. It's not even that far apart when it comes to the frags and KLP. He has yet to be online in this series, but once he is, you know, Stallions could look very dangerous for map number 4.
And you can tell how dominating it was. You look at the stats from Team Liquid, Y down at the bottom with only 4, matched by Adrian. Both of those players had a great game number 1 this time around, falling flat. But then again, it ended 10-2. They couldn't even get anything started. Doesn't say, at least it's not telling the future, right? Team Liquid can absolutely come back, but at least as of right now, it's looking good for the Stallions after taking a 10-1 victory. Loy shooting bodies still.
I mean, if Loy is definitely that confident, he can shoot as much bodies as he wants, right? And at the same time, his holds towards lockers has been so key for the team of Team Stallions, because that is one of the main points of attack that Liquid wants to take over, because when you get lockers, you get a whole lot of control, a whole lot of space in the map, and unfortunately, Stallions is not willing to share.
They're not willing to share. Why should they? They want to go to the grand finals, but so does Team Liquid. They've got to snap back. Got a lot of great fans, not only here in the venue, but also everywhere around the world. Let's check in with some of them with our Sadia superfans.
For me, being here is like a dream coming true. To get to know the city and the people's culture and see fans, esports fans from all around the world here supporting their organization, supporting their favorite players, really gives me a perspective of a bright future ahead of us.
Let's go Liquid! I'm really big fan of Team Liquid, so this experience is my top 1 in my life.
Let's go Liquid! 我感觉观赛氛围非常的好，来自于各个国家的玩家也都聚在一起。
因为比赛是实时直播，所以更加的刺激。
我最喜欢的选手是 DO， 我觉得他非常的努力，训练非常的刻苦。
打比赛的时候就喜欢他了。当时他还很胖，现在已经逆袭成功了，很棒。
In Brazil, I went to like a video game things, but not like this. So being here at this place, like, dude, it's huge.
Being physically in an event this magnitude means a lot to me. It's like a dream I never thought I will be. My favorite player from CROSSFIRE is Y, because he's like the best from the team in my opinion, and he always get headshots.
I am supporting Gokane because he's so good using sniper, so I like it.
Meu player favorito é o Gokane, da line do CROSSFIRE, e eu tô aqui para apoiar ele e buscar essa vitória hoje.
I am supporting a lot of the players from Team Liquid. Each player of Team Liquid, there will be me supporting them.
Love all the super fans and clearly supporting Team Liquid, and they're going to have to do it ever more so as the series is tied up 1-1. Dalian's Vault, there's a lot of craziness happening on our stage to be expected when it comes to CROSSFIRE. But over at the STC Arena, from what I'm hearing, things are shaking up in a major way when it comes to our club championship race, and we need Trav on the scene to give us a club championship update powered by Aramco.
Big developments in the STC Arena in CS2. Ginny, what's going on over here?
Honestly, I don't even know. Coming into this, everyone was saying Falcons were the favorites to win it. Coming off of their major win, everyone was saying they're in top form, they can do it, they're going to make it to the finals. Unfortunately, not the case. They just lost 0-2 to Legacy, which is absolutely incredible. And also for club championship points means that it is now down to 2 other games for them to actually be able to close it out.
Yeah, AG.AL may have blooded in CROSSFIRE, but it's back to 11 playing field now. 2 games each, Falcons versus AG.AL.
Thank you, Ginny and Trav, for the Club Championship update. Big news at the STC Arena. Falcons falling, which gives an opportunity now. A door is open for AG.AL to potentially still take the Club Championship for themselves. We only have a couple days left of competition when it comes to EWC, so it's coming down to the wire for sure. Most likely down to just 2 different games. But back to CROSSFIRE we go. It's Team Liquid versus Team Stallions, and the series is tied 1-1. Ankara ended 13-11. Team Liquid took it for themselves, but then Stallions answered back on sub-base, winning in a dominant fashion 10-2. But now we head into New Mexico. What are we thinking?
It's going to be a whole lot less sniping, that's for sure. So it's going to be more of the riflers this time when it comes to the map of New Mexico, and the CQC is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, not only riflers as well. The thing I love about New Mexico, it's one of the few maps we see shotguns come into the mix, controlling that alleyway, and that is so much fun to see.
It's going to be a lot of fun on New Mexico for sure. And just like we talked about of King Zero versus Baisha, you always want to be the team up 2-1.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being 2-1, especially in this environment, fully knowing what map number 5 is. SDS, that's going to be the goal. Porte is going to be very difficult for them. For Liquid, this is going to be possibly the kill shot.
So you're saying Team Liquid, they win New Mexico, they arguably win the series.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I would agree. Porte is one of the strongest maps for Team Liquid, so Stallions, if they're going to do this, they've got to do it in a 3-1 fashion, I think.
Well, we're heading into game number 3. It's New Mexico. For Stallions, it is imperative they take this win to lead 2-1. For Team Liquid, equally the same. Arguably, if they can win New Mexico, the series could very well be theirs, and they can crush the key of the Stallions. Who's going to take it? It's Team Stallions versus Team Liquid. Let's head into New Mexico.
Thank you very much, guys. We are ready for New Mexico. We've had a very fun back and forth match already, and map number 3 going to be no different. New Mexico can sometimes start off a little bit passively, but hoping that these 2 teams can get the party started a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, hopefully so, right? I mean, this is definitely one of those maps in the middle of the best of 5 that you kind of go, okay, like this is going to be the slower one. This is probably the one that's going to be a little bit more long-term, right? I mean, we're going to be here for a bit. I mean, this is a fun map, but again, this is where it's not going to be the same where we see, like, you know, the new compound, sub-bases, and cars, etc., right? So this will be interesting to see how both these teams want to react to this, right? Because, again, it's not a map that's overly played all the time, but I do love that it's making its way into the rotation a little bit more often. I love that we get to see this Palace pop, essentially. And this is where Team Liquid might be able to just go for this. And, again, some really good execs that you can get from this position. Ooh, that nade I thought was going to be a lot better. I think KLP unfortunately just missed it just off a little bit by a pixel, but Team Liquid look like they're ready for the 4-1 split.
Yeah, looks like we are actually going to send all 5 members over here. Up top in heaven, dropping on down. Loy and KLP trying to get first contact onto this. But Goken's in the corner, and Weiss going to start off there as KLP gets 1, but this is a good push from the side of TL, as they've been very good at starting off early. But now No has joined up into this party and is trying to make it interesting for the side of Stallions. We got another smoke in the doorway, though, and I think TL should be able to get this plant as JJ and No are coming around the corner very quickly, though, trying to get ahead of this play. They take down Goken, they take down Danimals, but it's Adrian to step up in the 1v2 and shuts it down.
Oh my goodness, it almost felt like Liquid forgot that position existed. They were just kind of hyper-focused on the main corridor, and they were just thinking that everybody was there, and then the fact that JJ was almost able to find himself in that position to be able to pull up the clutch and essentially just sweeping them. Whew, that was a little too close. I know Danimals is fired up. I mean, definitely I get it, but it's like, man, that could have been disastrous, honestly, because it felt like the rug was going to get pulled underneath here, but it does seem like Stallions respond back. A little bit of that frustration around that they thought probably should have been theirs. They respond back with some firepower, but Team Liquid right back at this as well. KLB has to be able to win this fight, but no, it's going to be No that does it.
He's like a Spectre. Like, where did he even come from? Like, he was in waters, and then he, like, ran straight through A into mid, pushed through smoke, and gets that kill. Like, what is...
It's like you you signal the bat signal, you know, like from Batman, and then it's like, No just is like, I'm here, I'm ready.
I'm here,
like,
I've showed up.
I'm ready to fight crime. You're just like, well, how did you get there? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. It does feel like he certainly, like, if there is action, he's always got the jets on. He's like, all right, I'm going. Just tell me where to go. Where's the action? Now they are going to push through mid, underneath through water. KLB does go down here to Danimals, and now the door is opening up. So TL trying to keep their options open here. And let's see exactly where they want to go as the follow-up push comes in, but Danimals is ready. He does go down. Bit of damage done, though. But they know where Y is. They try to go for the double swing, but Y does get away. Just barely. Y certainly expecting the follow-up aggression. These guys have basically no health. 10 health between the two of them.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. One shot, you can breathe on each other, and they're going to fall over. So this is where, again, it's just a matter of who's going to be able to land that one shot needed. Oh, and KLP, man. I was going to say, and that box or that doorway is spammable, right? So I was like, man, that could have been good here for Y, but still has 40 seconds to work with, right? So he doesn't have to commit to this plant right away. He can just kind of, again, just look for the duel. You know KLP is eventually going to want to swing this, so that's the thing. It's about being patient in this one. Like, it really should be Stallions that are just kind of waiting for that plant because, again, it puts Y in a really tough position. He's the one that has to be the aggressor. Oh, and he's going to swing this. KLP, are you ready? Are you ready? No, you're not. Oh, my gosh, he is! I thought he was looking the other way, but flicking the wrist. All right, we can catch that on his perspective on the replay if possible. But, man, it looked like he was not ready for that spot. And then split second flicks the wrist. Whew.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how Y didn't get that shot. I mean, maybe he wasn't expecting him right there, but he got the jump on KLP, not the opposite way around. And KLP just swung around real quick, knew it only took one. But now we got more action. Flashes into mid. 7-7 starts off with that first kill. They're going to push this once again, but they're smoking the way. They do take down KLP, though, and the aggression is working out here nicely for TL as they make their way onto the B site. KLB is coming in here real quick as he did before. Gets one, picks up two. And they just will not be stopped. He got a third.
No
and now he's peeking Goken. Guys, come on. Like, this is Team Liquid. Like,
oh, man, look at this position. No's going to have this dead to rights. Why would Goken expect that? Oh, my God. Why am I even surprised? That is ridiculous. Oh, man. I think even Goken's HP was like halfway through, too. But I thought No had it, again, just in the bag. I was like, okay, he's got this. He did a perfect job just, repositioning himself. Whoo-wee. This thing is cooking.
Yeah, I don't know how he managed that. But, again, you got to expect Goken to be able to pull that off, and he does. Like the angle that No took, and big shout out to KLB for the 3K on that round, by the way.
Kidding.
Like, that should have been TL's all the way, and it was at the end of the day, but he certainly made it interesting as this peak is coming out here from the team of Stallions. And a lot of angling and pushing around the middle of the map, which I do like. I was expecting this map to get a bit more fiery than we've seen compared to other teams when they play each other.
Yeah.
Not just because of Stallions. I do think that TL are trying to up the pace a little bit.
I do like it, though. Like, right, because that was where I was kind of making the joke in the beginning. I'm like, this one's going to be a bit slower. Everyone's going to take their time. And I love that last round where, Team Liquid, they were like, no, let's just, rush mid. Let's just go quick. Let's not, ignore the smokes. Like, who cares? Like, time this better. And they were able to get an opening duel within, 10 seconds of the round. So I do like it. I like the fact that Liquid are trying to, again, I don't want to say, new meta, but, again, just approaching this map a little bit differently on the BL side, because we always talk about how this map is so GR-focused, right? But Liquid are proving that there is definitely a way you can play this map differently. So it is exciting to see that Brazilian style, or the BL style, I should say.
Yeah, it does feel very nice to watch so far, and they are looking to go in towards this area once again into B.
Good flash.
Do have the flash. Yeah, KLP's going to be pushed back, but he does go for the peek. Takes a lot of damage. But Noah's coming in here. He's over the box, through the smoke once again. Takes down one, but the nade from Goken is good. Onto the kill, and they are cleaning it up here. I like how TL are playing this. KLB goes for the swing once again, picks up two.
What?
Nearly takes down Goken, and that should not have been close. But KLB, for some reason, that's his spot right there. And he does get taken down, though. So that is, once again, another victory on that round here over to the side of Team Liquid. I just realized we had these two teams going head-to-head. It's actually a couple of horse logos from both sides.
Yeah.
Didn't realize until just now. KLB is going to get the first kill, but we do have Adrian already on the A site. Just in here, and they just can't deal with him just yet. Noah's going to take him out. And now 7-7 coming on in for the follow-up. Gets that shot onto KLB. who's just hanging out in the window. Trying to swing him is Loy. Doesn't get that kill. As TL, they push in. And they will push out now as well. So
yeah, it's a good way to just react to this, right? Like, again, you're putting so much aggression into it, but then you're going to, like, kind of just, again, reset this because you already have Y. He's in the B site. Like, he's just posted up in this. So for now, you can see Liquid going to go all the way around. They realize, okay, we can probably go through, you know, a different avenue and we can get ourselves into this. And Stallions not really in the best position. The door does open, and I feel like these guys should have heard that. So, again, this is where now things are going to be a little bit more tricky, but they should be able to get out of this. I think a smoke's still available for 7-7. Assuming he knows this lineup, that's going to be perfect. Because, again, yeah, Stallions are like, why on earth is he here? Like, how on earth is he here? But, again, I don't love that Y actually re-aggressed onto that. I would have liked him to stay in that position. It was such a powerful spot to be in. Because his teammate just threw the smoke. So, again, it's just a little bit of a miscom, I think, maybe. Got a little bit of over-antsy. Now, Danimals has to win this fight. Otherwise, this might be a Stallions round that could be up.
yeah, this is getting pretty interesting in this 2v2. Still a decent amount of utility left, but it did just get thrown. So let's see how it goes from here. JJ trying to swing after the smoke. The timing is beautiful. 7-7 alone, doesn't know where to look. And Loy comes in and takes him down. So there you go. Stallions do get back onto the horse. I feel like I'm going to be using that a little bit more now after recognizing the logos here. But yeah, it is important for them to get back onto it because, you know, from this GR side, you expect them to have a little bit more success. But TL, once again, come out very strong. I think that's something we should expect even more as more and more of these maps do come along.
Well, I think for me, like, it's just the fact that Liquid are now putting themselves at 3 rounds. That's a good thing, right? Like, I mean, like, the old Mexico was, like, definitely one of those maps where you absolutely needed to get as many rounds as you could on the GR side that you could kind of, you know, when you transition over to the BL, you're like, okay, we're probably only going to get that, like, maybe 1 or 2, like, you know what I mean? Or, like, a scrappy 3. But Liquid have made this look really good to getting 3 rounds. So this is what is really exciting about this map is that Liquid, it kind of feels like they could, there could be a world that they're going to be able to find 4 or 5, and then when you go over to the GR side, like, you are going to feel so good going into that next, you know, the next half here, right? So that's where I think for Stallions, they kind of have to realize, okay, look, we got to step this up. Like, it is still very close, but this is the thing. You don't want to get that, you know, extra padding for these guys. You cannot sacrifice that.
Yeah. It's just really important these next bunch of rounds just to really control the pace of how the rest of this map is going to go. Here comes Adrian once again, just pushing in very aggressively. No gets the first, but they take him down. That's a nice trade. They're in here onto the site. And I've been liking these pushes from the side of TL. You know, even though they didn't get the win in the last time they went for this push, it does feel like this is working out pretty well. KLB able to trade 1 for 1, but the plan already comes in. And up a man here, RTL, and you see they have to try to root them out here on the stairs. It's not going to go well for them. Adrian is going huge right now on New Mexico. 10-4 is one of these guys, one of these veterans for the TL squad who, you know, you put him under any amount of pressure, he will come through.
Yeah, no, and honestly, just again, I feel like Team Liquid are definitely giving a really good presentation right now, playing the BL side on this map, and Stallions probably not expecting them to be, you know, this proficient on it, right? Like, we know that TL like to play it in their respected region in their league, but again, I think when you get to actually, when you watch the demo and then you're kind of like playing against it, 2 different things, right? So that's where, again, it gets pretty exciting to see, but now Stallions are going to have to figure out a way to respond to this as best as they can. They'd be able to find the opening duel, but once again, it's you take down Y, but what's going to be the other effect here? How do you find something else to be able to get yourself back into this game? A 2-round buffer is a lot, right? I mean, it just goes back to what I was emphasizing so much about the BL side. So Stallions, they got to pop off now.
Yeah, they absolutely do have to. I do think that, you know, got to always be wary of Stallions' ability to get map wins from the Blacklist side on any map as well. But you're exactly right. I mean, on New Mexico, this is Team Liquid certainly in the driver's seat. They're the ones in the saddle. And they're clomping along right now, going into round 7. 1 minute left, and we just have Y, who did go down a little bit early. As once again, it has been Stallions that do push into mid. And now underneath, 7-7 gonna barely win that fight against Loy. So he's going to get low, but still, it's good for TL that they do even up the manpower at this point. And 7-7's a guy who can utilize the TRG. I mean, he is essentially the second sniper for the team, and I don't know if Gokken's going to give it to him, but, you know, he could, as he is super low, and Gokken's going to peek and doesn't hit the shot, so maybe you should have. JJ does knock him down. Danimal's in the corner, and that's going to be a nice spot for him to get a little bonus kill, as this one is getting scrappy.
Yeah, and this is where I think Stallions are getting a little bit desperate, right? They're trying to make some plays. They want to try to equalize as much as they can. 7-7 just making noise. Good distraction against JJ, and it's kind of working, right? Now you see 2 players from Stallions getting focused. You have that rotate of KLP, but he catches one. I don't know if he actually spotted the second, but that bomb is going to make its way into that A site. This is problematic, though, for Adrian, because now what was looking decent is now turned into a clutch situation, and he's going to have a moment to pop off. He has to find a duel quickly, but it's KLP. He's better here on the western side with that pistol, and Stallions will stay alive.
Yeah, I was going to say with Adrian, the last person alive, I was like, hey, I mean, he's got the hot hands right now. You never know, like he's able to get the plant.
Yeah.
Could see something interesting happen.
It was doable for sure. He just needed to find that kill, right? Because if he would have taken down KLP, you would have created a ton of space. Then he could have repositioned because all the other, the Stallion guys were getting close, but I think that could have given him something to work with, right? KLP was the biggest threat, without question.
Yeah, he definitely was. And we're going to see how this goes. As once again, we got action in Waters. And, they're able to trade out for Gokken, so you're feeling pretty good about that as Stallions try to take the star player down. Now, if they can get Adrian, they're going to be feeling even better. As Adrian is going to push into mid. A lot of smoke in the face. Do they push this? I do wonder. As nades are being thrown out here, they're expecting the aggression and trying to stop it for now.
Oh, and they do slip it. Good work from Adrian. Good mechanics. And oh my goodness, it's No once again. The savior slashes the blade, and there you go. Just like that. Creates it, finds the double, and we are back to a tie game. Whew, just when I was thinking Liquid might have been able to kind of steamroll this a little bit on the BL side, Stallions, they pulled through, and then again, memory serves me short here. I don't think they called the timeout yet, if I'm not mistaken. Memory is...
No, I don't think either team is...
Okay, thank goodness. I was like, whew, boy.
On for attack pause yet.
I was like, man, we're only 3 maps in. I'm already forgetting this is bad. it's like, come on, lads.
Yeah, best of 5s are longer than best of 3s.
That
so
is
you're going to have to work on that a little bit.
I know.
Got a couple more maps in us, probably. But yeah, if I'm Team Liquid, I'm feeling a little bit worried because I'm seeing this pattern develop where they get started really nicely and then they just can't really hold on to the momentum they have as Danimals feeling the pressure. It's just hanging out in spawn, having to deal with members of Stallions who, of course, are there. Adrian, nice timing on that. And 7-7 gets another, but KLB's in the corner here. Kind of a cheeky spot. Might be up to Danimals to get that. Oh, but he's going to shoot. And now they do round the corner, and 7-7, easy cleanup for him, but no, still alive. Gokken drops down and cleans him up, and TL will get the last round of the half, and that feels fantastic that they can get 5 from the Blacklist side. Really puts the onus here on Team Stallions to get something going from their Blacklist side.
Yeah. I do like it though, right? Because again, I think it just goes back to the point we keep bringing up because it's important, because it's a map where typically it's GR sided. So the fact that you win the half on the BL side, it is good. Like Danilos is probably thinking, okay, great. I called a decent half. Now we just got to close this thing. The GR side is not easy, but it is a lot easier. So we'll see. But Stallions, again, notoriously an aggressive team. So this is where they do thrive. So we'll have to see. They're grouped up just on the outside of A. We'll have to see if that's actually what they want to do. But these smokes thrown here from Team Liquid have definitely created a little bit of a halt for them. And we'll have to see where they want to go for this. Y's going to have to be very careful because, again, even if he goes for this duel against Loy and he loses, let's say, again, gives you some control that Liquid will have to put some focus on.
Yeah.
Oh, the Vepr. Love it.
Yeah, this is what Kyle was talking about. He likes when some players bring out the shotties here on the stairs in the alley.
How do you fight it, though, right? Like, you play, like, you can, but it's just so difficult. Like, the odds are definitely against you. So it's a good gun to have on this map.
Yeah. As they have pushed into the middle of the map here, Stallions taking things one step at a time. Curious to see where their main focus is going to be. I feel like we saw a decent amount of pushes from TL into B, and also some mixed in with their push through alley up into A. It's now Adrian trying to get that second down, and there it is.
Oh, it's bomb too.
Yep. Now KLP trying to round the corners. Adrian challenges them, takes down 3 in total. And that is beautiful from him.
Yeah, this has to be a liquid round. I mean, again, this is amazing work here from the Vepper. That's just perfect. That's exactly what you need. That's what we talk about on a map like this, and he switches his gun too. Oh boy, 15-7. What a game from Adrian. Like you said, he's been able to have himself a really decent series so far, and he's really stepped things up when they needed here on this third map. But now it's down to no here on a 1-on-5. I mean, look, it's not impossible, let's just say, but there's one, not two, but okay.
Had the read, maybe he saw the tip of the gun.
I was like,
yeah.
If he gets 2 or 3 here, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, not meant to be that time around, and so Team Liquid start off the GR side strong. Doesn't feel like Stallions are very much enjoying having to deal with Adrian in the hallway here. In the alleyway, and Adrian's like, yeah, I am him right now over at 2KD. And yeah, it's really nice to see some of these veterans really step up and fight alongside the rest of the squad. Noah's over the top here of the box, and he's checking. Doesn't see anything in mid. Certainly an opportunity to get some position, but KLB is going to win that fight here against Y, who has been playing that angle from that B main area. And you mentioned it before, you know, if he goes down, then you kind of have to swap up your positioning here as TL. And that's a way that you can just take 1v1s and maybe get a lot of pressure here as Stallions, especially if Y continues to play the same spot, which I'm not sure if they even spotted him the first time around the first round, but at least they have some information now taking him down here, as we do have them trying to take mid. But as I said before, there's nobody here from the side of TL.
Well, and Loya has full utility, so he's the one that's in the hallway right now for apartments. Like, so this is where he could just do it like a bit of an execute, and KLP has the smoke as well. So this is where they actually could, again, just fake this out. Their teammates, are they actually going to commit to that? That's a good duel. So now they crunch. Now they crunch into this player of 7-7. He has to be able to find something, but yeah, he's fully wide open. Has no idea that the guys are coming through the main corridor like that. So again, I think just that information wasn't able to be transmitted. So yeah, easily done here from Stallions. That was perfect, right? And that's what I was talking about. You get that kill into that hallway as Liquid in the GR side, then you have to start, you know, again, replanning and reconfiguring your composition, because you're like, hey, it's a possibility, right? And that's exactly what happened. And I love the way that Stallions approached it. I think getting that kill in the middle outside of B, that was just the cherry on top, right? That just allowed them to just go, yeah, we accelerate this, we just go, don't even hesitate. And 7-7 was just like, oh, he was in no man's land. He was just like, oh man, like, what do you mean? Like, why are they're all here to get me now? I wasn't prepared, right? So
yeah,
either way, good work from Stallions. Love it.
And Stallions do call the attack pause here. I mean, they were behind, it was 6-4, and that round was not a guaranteed victory, but they do take it. So now 5-6 from their angle, from their side, and they get some time to talk through here. I think it's pretty good timing for Tanks to kind of bring them through what has happened and also get a little bit of information how TL are playing from their GR side too.
Absolutely, no. And I was going to say, even the fact that they win that round where it didn't look likely, I think this is still great, because again, now, like you said, Tanks can just talk about things like, look, like some obvious points that he might be noticing, or just something for them to work with. So I'm kind of actually hoping they're going to keep contesting that mid like Liquid did on their BL side, because I think given Stallions and the way they like to play and the aggression that they can bring with that firepower, I mean, man, I feel like that's just the threat you need, right? So we'll have to see if they want to do anything like that, because I think this is where I like that they're taking it with a little bit of a slow pace, but I'm kind of waiting for that like element of surprise where they're just going to go like, yeah, we're going from 0 to 60 instantly. So that's what we'll have to wait and see if Tanks is kind of wanting that to happen yet, or maybe wait it out still.
No always looks like he's feeling the pressure, regardless of the situation. As here's Adrian.
Big kill.
And down he goes.
Oh, it's just so costly. Like, again, like it's easy to critique, but I think for Liquid, it's like that's just such a high-risk play, because now, again, real estate grabbed up. 7-7 has to be an anchor by himself. And that's where now Stallions, they can just kind of, again, post up and wait to see if Liquid want to refight for some kind of map control and try to, you know, bring the numbers back into some kind of an equal fashion, maybe or maybe not, right? So Stallions are in a power play, in my opinion, like easily.
Yeah, they absolutely are. It's now Gokhan going to be spotted. KLB has moved over to the sniper, of course, at 5 HP. And doesn't hit the shot, but gets the info. KLB does move forward, and Gokhan takes him out. But that's a smoke right in his face, so maybe they can make some moves on the map with that. They still have a couple of guys potentially heading over towards B. And as we know, it is just the one guy, 7-7, who is on the B site. So it could be the angle here as JJ going to take this bomb all the way around and underneath. And probably going to be heading over towards the B site. It's going to be Danimals and 7-7 who haven't been the main two players here on the side of TL, who need to handle this pressure. So I do like this angle from Stallions. As Flash is directly going his face, he's not going to hit the shot. Gets the second one. Setting the follow-up a little bit slow. Danimal's also there to help out. And he takes out No in the middle of the map. So that's going to be fantastic for him.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of worried that Stallions were taking a little bit too long to get out of this barman, right? I was thinking, like, you kind of have to get a move on here. You can't just, like, kind of sit and post it up like that because, again, for snipers, it's kind of easy picking. So they do get that kill, though, KLP. That was really important in the middle of the site. Now he's going to be able to have the snipe. But look at this. Look at Liquid. They got the double player going through hallway. This is going to be something. I don't know if Stallions are going to be prepared for this. Loy has to be ready, though. He has actually repositioned. It looks like he's prepared for it. Spidey senses are tingling. That flash is not going to be good for him. Oh, that is not going to be good for him. But he still wins the fight. How? I don't know how he gets away with that. That nade might just do him. But no, it doesn't. It doesn't even do a speck of damage. KLP, he's been able to dodge some bolts too. And I don't know how we're here again, Valdez. I keep saying that in this series, but why? Oh, he's going to be making me scratch my head here. But Liquid do find themselves a 2-round buffer.
Yeah, pretty intense round there. I mean, that did not look great for Stallions. They make it close, but at the end of the day, Team Liquid get the round that I think they absolutely should have with their ability to rotate over, get a position up there in heaven, and just rain fire down on them. As here's why. KLP goes for the swing. I mean, you're not really going to hide behind those tiny little boxes, like those little ammunition boxes on the site. That's not an angle where you can just sit back and try to dance around it, especially on the health that he had. So I do like the idea to try to just go out and hit a pot shot before Y is ready for it, but Y only had to hit one shot, and he did. So nicely done from him. And Stallions, they haven't been having enough success, I'd say, here from the Blacklist side. This is looking pretty good right now for Team Liquid on New Mexico. Not a big surprise, I'd say, but as our analyst desk was talking about, if it does go to Porte, like even if Stallions win the next map, it's not the greatest feeling going into Porte here up against TL.
No, exactly. Yeah, the map pool, it definitely kind of feels like, you know, this is a map where I would have favored Liquid in my opinion, just because I think in their respected, you know, league, they actually do get to play this a little bit more often. So I think for them, that's where they've really shown their preparation on this. But like you said, Porte is a decider, man. Like that, that is just crazy. But I love it though. I feel like we barely have had Porte at all. Like I feel like it's been pretty much instant ban from, I feel like almost all teams. Like I'm trying to get back to thinking about it, but I don't remember any of the games actually playing on this. I'm sure there has been one. Now I'm going to look, but I mean, it's kind of funny because Porte to me is actually a pretty decent map. But the thing is you have the TRG that can like constantly just instant spam. Like when you're on the GR side, that sucks to go against. Like, let's be honest. That's not an easy thing to do. So I do understand why teams are doing that. But either way, I can digress a little bit later. But good kill from Loy. Ooh, even Y to get a good reply back on this as well. Now the execute's coming through. Stallions. Man, another scrappy round from both these teams. This is just, it's just ridiculous.
They spot 7-7 there behind the boxes. And swinging around here is KLP. Does not hit the shot on a Gokhan. But he's got the lineup, and he will pick it off. Gets the headshot there. Stallions aren't out of this yet. Again, things are looking pretty dire on New Mexico, but they're trying to mount a comeback here. And they're not too far behind. It just kind of comes down to if they can really get enough momentum here from the Blacklist side of this one. Nice shot to finish it off. Did feel like this was kind of a done deal from there in the 2v1. As Goken's going to take down No. Just like that, they push into mid very quickly. Loy's already in behind Goken. And, yeah, Y's going to get up there and get contact onto him. Goken gets another kill on a JJ. As Goken says, okay, you want to bring in the aggression? I'll peek it too. I am not scared of this. As we know, he is absolutely not. Loy still has not been rooted out here of this angle, although Y is just waiting for him. Loy got a kill on the Danimals while he's up there being such a nuisance from that angle. Nate doesn't do anything. He gets another one. This guy is just doing so much work for the squad, and now KLB comes in, and Y is not able to defend. They get this plant. This is not the way this should have gone.
No, not at all. That's really good work from Loy, though. Again, just being such a nuisance, such a distraction, and look, and you can see that Liquid were hyper focused on him. Like you can see that Y was just calming the whole time. Like, I need you to kill Loy. Loy's here. Like, you got to take out Loy. But honestly, good work from him. And the position he was in, he knew the threat was just below him on his left. He's still getting nade kills. He's still finding another kill. Y's just kicking himself like, I can't do anything. I can't help you. I'm stuck in this tight room. And unfortunately, he just couldn't figure out how to open the lock and get out of the room. And there you go. Stallions bounce right back into this game. And a really good round. And that's, again, where the Loy factor kicks in here. So Liquid going to call the tactical. Probably not a bad idea. Considering they have been looking dominant, that's kind of a round that, honestly, you got to talk about that. That's a tough one to lose.
Yeah, it definitely is, and that's why the timing of this tack pause is very good for the side of TL. Just try to take the momentum away from the guys there on Stallions after a huge round from Loy and KLB. Just almost brute forcing their way onto the site. It just felt like they couldn't handle Loy on that angle in alley, and he's just sitting there getting so much, like a grenade kill on a Danimals.
Yeah.
He peeks the one guy. KLB comes in after, gets Y down, who's trying to get the trade. It's just crazy how much value they got just essentially sitting there and waiting for TL to make mistakes. The only issue I have with the tack pause here is that sometimes you give tanks a little bit of time to talk to his squad, and all of a sudden they look revitalized. So
yeah,
we'll see if GLC can have the same effect.
Yeah, it definitely is the major risk, right? Because tacticals can be great for you, but that just means obviously the other team gets a moment to have a good conversation too. And like you said, Tanks has been really great for the team here for Stallions, where he's been able to get, imparting wisdom, being able to give some good pointers of just things you got to look out for. And it does look like they get revitalized. I definitely agree with you. It's like one of those teams where we talk about that stat. I think Stallions have proven that almost every time. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely interesting. But man, right back to it. A tie game we go. And Liquid, what are they going to be able to pull here? But I do like the fact that Adrian actually has given up this hallway control. He's like, okay, I've done this twice. It didn't work out. Let's just give it up for free. Who cares? And they're actually playing where 7-7 this time around. He's going to be on the B main, so he's actually going to allow essentially a retake situation. So this is a nice setup here from Liquid.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I like how they're trying to figure it out in real time and just, essentially get ahead of Stallions before they get too much momentum in these rounds and not give them early kills, essentially. I think that in general, when TL from either side have played a little bit more passively, it's worked out well for them. And now we do see that No's trying to hit this big nade onto Goken. He does quite a lot of damage.
It's chunky.
Yeah, Goken's been playing that same spot almost every single round. So I think eventually you got to be careful about playing that, as they absolutely can challenge you. Going to take over mid control. Nate doesn't appear to do a whole lot. And the shots here from Goken, they're just smoked out. He's not really able to see anything. So Stallions, pretty good spot for them. Let's see the execute.
Yeah, interesting smoke here from Goken too. I was kind of thinking, I don't know if he missed through that or if that was intentional, because it looks like it kind of went in that little bit of a nook, so I don't know if that was creating a bit more space on the side, but doesn't even matter nonetheless. 7-7 just cannot anchor this, unfortunately, by himself. He does his job by at least one, I guess, but would have been ideal to be able to find that 2 minimum, but Stallions now have a free site. How do Liquid want to respond to this? Again, utility is available, 1 apiece for 2 of the players, and you still have Adrian here equipped with 2 more. So not the worst situation in the world. And Danimals, he's actually going to try to contest, but you have to worry about KLP. Oh, that nade. Oh, man, that was right off the teeth. That's not going to feel good for the AG.AL of Danimals, and now he has to go for the swing, and it's just going to be Stallions that just seem to have been able to find themselves a winning recipe here for round number 15. Unless Adrian does the absolute most impossible. With time just against him, I think it's all done here, Valdez.
Yep, not going to happen. Gets the kill, immediately gets traded out. And it's crazy, you know, Loy steps up in a couple of big rounds, and he's doing great. It does feel like, as a squad, though, Stallions have kind of figured this out. It always feels like, you know, after the half or at the very beginning of each map, they take a little bit of time to get adjusted, but once they get adjusted, they look like the better team almost every time, which is crazy because it's been very back and forth. There are times where it's like, oh, TL can't do any wrong. They have so much momentum. And then Stallions, it's like, they have so much momentum. They can't do any wrong. They're just firing on all cylinders. So very much a big back and forth affair between these two squads. And emotions certainly already running very high. And, I mean, Stallions playing this one pretty well. We do have Adrian going into mid and maybe trying to take a little bit of a preemptive striking spot. You know, get in mid. You haven't been there all game. Say, maybe I get a trade here. Maybe I can spot their rotation early. And he's got Danimals right there with him on the crossfire. Just waiting for Stallions to make the push. But Stallions have slowed this down quite a bit in this round.
Yeah, they really have. They've kind of just, again, softly pressed the brakes a little bit on this. But now, I mean, with Adrian kind of being in this position, if they can be able to find this, this could be really huge for them. But Adrian's been having a great game, but no, it just can't handle JJ right now. Nice little bit of a bunny hop into that duel. Now Liquid feeling the back burner on this one a little bit. Now they have to reset up their defense once again. That A site is technically open, but now Goken's saying, okay, look, I'm going to reposition, I'll anchor. I'm going to kind of play this forklift position again. And that's kind of been his home ground, but Stallions should be aware of this. Nades are coming through. This is going to be a lot of pressure for the vet.
Yeah, it definitely will be. He's already taken a bunch of damage. Wise helping out a little bit. If Goken just gets one, that's enough, but he's not able to hit the shot. No. Picks him up as trying to sit on the bomb. It's not quite enough for 7-7, who does get the trade here onto Loy. As they pick up the bomb, they get onto the site. 7-7 tries to go fast. He gets the one, and that is massive that he can get the one and get away. He's got a sniper here. And, I mean, there is a chance for 7-7 to get this done. It's one shot, one opportunity. If you can hit KLB, you win the round, and you bring this back to a tie game.
Yeah, look at 7-7. He's anticipating a bit of a flank, so he's actually just posted up, waiting to see if, you know, KLB is just going to try to make an ultra big play here, which is definitely the right read, because, again, this team would do that. KLB, though, is playing it properly. He's just waiting things out, but no, man! It's 7-7! Oh, man. Rises from the ashes here, and he's able to find himself a big moment here for Team Liquid, and a much-needed moment, because that map point was right there available, but it gets taken away, and we're back to a tie.
Yeah, it is crazy how close that was. And, yeah, he knows that's one of the spots. He checked a lot of them, and he says, well, you haven't flanked me. I mean, you must be on the site somewhere. He checks the corner, hits the shot right in the stomach as well, like we saw there. Very nicely done from 7-7. Extremely clutch that he gets the one kill on Tano, backs away, and then is able to finish it off. So, big stuff when it matters most from pretty much everybody on both rosters. Like, it feels like everybody's firing on all cylinders, and that's what has made this such a close affair so far.
Yeah. That's what's been so good. Like you said, it's just been hyper competitive, and it's just such a back and forth affair. It just doesn't feel like the only map we saw was Subbase, where Stallions, like, they made a statement, obviously, but that was just to get them back in this game. But we kind of expected that in some regard, just considering how strong they can be on that map too. But nonetheless, New Mexico has absolutely delivered more than what I was thinking. The pace, everything, all the duels, the clutches, it's just been great to see. And now good nade coming in from Goken. He's actually been able to find onto No. Now he's actually repositioned himself, right? Typically he likes to play forklift. This time he's going to play sight box. Spamming away, hoping he might be able to find something through the smoke. Not going to happen yet. Another re-smoke here on the A site. That makes it an issue here for Team Stallions.
Yeah, and I feel like This is that smoke once again. It just gives them a little bit of an angle there on the corner. But they've dealt with Goken so well, have Stallions. And I think that's been the key, as now he's on the back of the site, but Adrian is there, and the shot is dropped from Goken, and he gets traded out after taking out JJ. So they get onto the site, and this is going to be a 3v3 retake. TL just essentially waiting for it. But look, in the middle of the map, Loy actually pushing them and gets them before they're even ready. Now in the window, I mean, they're just going down one by one. They're not even able to set up any kind of retake here. As Adrian taking massive damage, he's down to 3 health, gets swung by Loy, who pulls up and takes him down. And once again, Stallions take the lead and move to 9 and 8.
Yeah, this is great. Again, Stallions, you know, nade work, it's not even just firepower. Like, that's something we always talk about with this team. We're like, look, young team, they just run and gun, they get in your face and aggressive, but the utility work, again, it's just prevailed. Like, we saw that pop flash, and that allowed, you know, the last player of Stallions being able to swing like that and winning that engagement. So you absolutely love to see it. And that's where Team Liquid are now getting a little bit meeting their maker in this. And now map point on the docket here for Team Stallions, which would put them up on a 2-map series in this best of 5, only needing that one. So now Team Liquid, they've been able to push this on the first map. Can they do it here and now for New Mexico? That is the biggest question here on this third. And the hallway is going to be up for grabs. Team Liquid not going to contest with it. They're going to go back to just leaving 7-7 being the sole reliability on this one. And Stallions have to make a lot of decisions here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time we've had a 9-8 situation. We had it on Ankara. It did get tied up by TL, I believe. That did force the extra rounds. And they eventually did go on to win it. So opportunity for TL to do the same thing on Mexico, New Mexico, and just, you know, essentially take a big lead in the series. As here comes a bit of a push from the side of Stallions. They do want to head towards B, it looks like. Maybe a little bit of pressure from the waterway as well, but Y is tucked up in the corner here on the left.
Oh, but they have to clear Y though, yeah, like you said. I mean, what is going, how did Y let that happen? I mean, maybe the angle was just a little bit too tight, I don't know, but that's a little bit of a misplay. But I mean, again, this is a big advantage for them. No is on that 1v3. Again, we don't get to see him on this rifle too often. I mean, typically it's the HK we like to see him on, but I feel like any rifle's going to do for this guy. It doesn't even matter at this point, but he's got that 40 seconds remaining, and I do like this. I think the fact that he's like hunting and he's just looking for duels is important. Team Liquid, you can tell, they're just tucking their tail. They are not trying to contest this. No is hungry. He is looking. He wants something. Oh my gosh, he's already in the other site. And this is where you have to go back, okay? You're like, look, I mean, enough's enough. Oh, I can't believe, why is Adrian going for that fight now? But 17 seconds. Oh, it might be a ruse. It's all a game plan. This is a mind game. He thinks the site's going to be open now. He has 10 seconds. He has to go. He has to plant. This is it. Team Liquid are going to be able to find it. Oh, man, a little bit of cat and mouse, and they just bait the cheese, and he fell right into it.
Pretty interesting situation there at the end of the round. Could have just planted it on B. Obviously, that has its own risks. And so he did not elect to do that. He went out the no way, which is swinging, essentially. And at the end of the day, was not able to pick up the 1v3. Did get Adrian. He's always looking pretty stressed, but, you know, nice try. And now, TL, they force the extra rounds, and they will move back to the BL side.
Well, that's the thing, right? We talk about, you know, it's just like overcooking a bit. Like, I loved that Noah was getting information. He was trying to fight for something, but there's a point where you got to give it up. And then Y went for the swing, and then I think he tried to make it seem like, oh, well, that site's open. Oh, I'm just going to push you. And it baited No into it. But I would have loved to see No, like, how much he pushed in, and he actually would have just fell back and just tried to go back to that other site, because I think he knew it was empty. Like, he was pretty confident in it, right? Because he was pretty much clearing it out. But either way, it was a good effort, but good response here from Liquid. So like you said, extra rounds we go, which is not at all surprising, but it is good to see. And that's a big, good amount of teamwork here from Team Liquid. Again, showing their experience as a roster. Fully bright.
Yeah, it just felt like it was a matter of, you know, how many maps are going to go to extra rounds. It's
all of them.
We knew that we were going to have a bunch. We did get a little bit robbed there on sub base, but that's okay. That's a little bit of a unique situation with Stallions and that map. And maybe we just get extra rounds on every other map. Although if it does get to Porte, I don't expect it to go to extra.
No, I don't think so either.
But we'll see. As there's the flash on in, the second they try to enter into mid, JJ is like, no. Let me stop you in your tracks right there. But still a lot of utility, a lot of smokes here, so they can still get position in the middle of the map.
Look at Loy. Him and both the KLB, they're actually pushing through this into water. So, I mean, again, this is like, again, just fighting for some control. I'm curious where Loy is. Because, again, he might be able to find some kind of a funny timing. Maybe not. Okay, no, he's going to go back with his team, so that's fine. But, okay, KLB will go down. Loy's trying to take the long route into this. He's going to have the best timing in the world. Oh, my goodness, and he does. Valdez. Oh, my goodness, this is such a Stallion round. This is such a Stallion round. Blink of an eye and you miss it. Like, that was like so hyper-focused on Loy again, like Liquid were a few rounds ago, and then you're like, done.
Yeah. You remember that when TL were on the blacklist side the first time around, they got killed from that angle so many times from guys just swinging around behind them on B and just, you know, KLB got like multiple multi-kills and stuff like that, and then the timing with no peeking out from mid is just perfect. So even though TL were hyper aware of what they had to deal with last time, they still could not handle the pressure from the side of Stallions. And now it looks like Stallions want to put on more pressure. Is anyone surprised? Not me. As here they go. They do swing down into waters, but this time it's Adrian and Goken who pick up one apiece. And they are going to put an end to that nonsense.
Yeah, and Liquid actually just immediately leaving this too, so that's not bad at all. So I really hope for Stallion's sakes they don't just kind of push through that, but they won't. But Loy is kind of posted up, just like recommitting to the fight. KLP looks like he might try to anchor this A site instead. This is pretty dangerous. Again, no immediate trades from each other. This is relying on, again, individual abilities of like, look, Loy, you're going to need to get a kill and then run. Run for the hills. But we'll see. And actually it looks like he finally will give it up. Liquid, again, just, they have, I like this though, because they know that Stallions will do something aggressive. But this is this is a little dramatic though too, right? Because I mean, you still have somebody in the back of BL spawn. You have double guys just on the right hand side, so they're like just really expecting Stallions to go full gallop. But
I like that full gallop. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like Stallions have showed a lot of their gameplay too, where it's like, you know, they're down members. They want to try to even it up aggressively, but funnily enough, Stallions aren't going to do that this time. And I do think that KLP and Loy aren't the members that are going to do it most of the time. Like it's kind of no, and KLB I think that will do it a little bit more. Like Loy has done it a bit, and he's certainly mixing up that style. But yeah, they're just going to go through waters here and push straight from there.
This is the wrong site, Liquid. Okay, they're going to go for it. I think Loy got that information too. I don't know if they spotted him though. Oh, look at KLP. Look at KLP. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe. Okay, I was going to say if he survives that, that's ridiculous. And that is the same position that Loy is in that KLP typically likes to be in. And that's where he's been able to swing and win some multi-kill rounds. So maybe he would have flipped that. That could have been a little bit different, but Liquid do a great job to react to it. But I mean, again, that player that was underneath KLP, I mean, man, that could have been dangerous if he was going to be able to find that. But just that 1 second of a difference of timing was his demise.
Yeah, now here we go once again. And 7-7 and the rest of the squad is down here in waters. They're like, guys, do not push us here again. We will take you down. This is the last round of the half of the extra rounds, obviously. And it's a big push that Loy's going to find first. Just run straight into them. Did not expect 5 people to be lined up there. There's a lot of damage to Y, to be fair, but that's still a kill onto Loy. And they're just 3 pushing through what they're trying to like get the flank here.
Yeah.
Trying to get ahead of this.
This actually is good because I think they have the information. They're like, guys, I think they're still in this hallway. Like they're essentially sandwiched in. So now they have to commit, right? Liquid are trying to make it seem like it's a bit of a fake. Now they have to go. They realize their timing is now everything. They have to do something big. KLP, he's been a bit of a threat, but unfortunately he can't be able to do it here. Now KLB by himself, he will go down. And there we go, fresh haircut for him, and Liquid pull through a lead, 11-10.
Yeah, it's a big round for Team Liquid. It was so obvious where everybody was, and they're just able to brute force their way onto the site. I do not think KLP should have swung that and tried to go for the kill. He got that first one. He was staying alive behind the boxes, waiting for his teammates to swing in with him.
Agreed.
And I think he just, you know, he tries to take the initiative, tries to go first, and unfortunately that kind of led to the 1-by-1 situation.
Whoa.
Now, why? Speaking of taking the initiative, running directly into the open arms of No, who is just going to headshot him down and make quick work of that. I mean, TL, they once again got so much value from their Blacklist side. I would hate to see it go to waste with a round that's a little bit too over-aggressive from the GR. But it's just the one kill for now. Danimals took a little bit of chip as they're trying to nade out Gokhan once again, and Gokhan is aware of it now. He's going to dodge that nade. He's trying to throw a second nade into him.
Well, it's good he's adjusted. He's like, well, I think they know I play here, so I'm going to switch, which is good. Get a little bit of adjustment. And Stallions. Still full HP. All 5 players still alive in this one. And Liquid kind of in a bit of a split where they have to go to the 2-2. But you do have Gokhan, again, just kind of spawning things out through the mid side. But again, they can actually swing into this B main. This has been good for them. This has been the miracle worker. And now Danimals does something good. Now him staying alive, that's good. Because again, that threat, that uncertainty, that is still going to be a question here for Stallions. But they're going to go for this one. No question about that plant. How do Liquid want to retake this, though? That is going to be tough. Because again, you have some utility, but you're going to have to utilize this perfectly. No players are that low where the nades should be able to get a kill, but it will do some damage if they can line this up properly.
Yeah, KLP is going to be first contact for these 3 guys that are all coming in from behind. And this has been where Stallions get a lot of work done. Can Team Liquid do it here as the shots ring true? It's Adrian to try to hold. KLP. And I think he has it. Yeah, Gokhan covers him. Team Liquid up to 12.
Wow.
And they are so close to taking New Mexico now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and like you said, I kind of like it. It was a bit of a scary one though too, because you're committing 3 players into a really, really tight corridor like that. But the fact the player that was sitting in the box from Stallions, he wasn't able to land that shot, honestly, that was kind of the problem, right? That was the wrench in the gears. That's when things started to just break down very quickly, and a good work from Team Liquid being able to win those duels and then just getting on that defuse instantly. So you could tell that KLB was just like, I don't even have the position for this. Like, I have to now run and charge for it. So good work from Team Liquid. Now 1 round away, and they put themselves up 2-1 in this series. And that's definitely going to help with Gokhan just landing shots like that, taking down Loy. But you still have the threat of KLP, you still have the threat of No, but this is now where we have to see something, the miracle, the popping the magic trick. Something has to happen here for Stallions if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, it's not looking too likely. And I mean, they had a nice comeback from the Blacklist side after the first half that we had, but I'm not convinced. I think TL have really hunkered down here on this map. They've showed better play in extra rounds. And as you mentioned, I think, we're going to see a magic trick from Stallions. Otherwise, this should go to TL, and we will move on to new compound with them on match point. But let's see what is going to happen here. And so we're not done just yet. Maybe a push into A. We got 3 guys. Looks like a lineup from KLP, perhaps.
I don't mind this.
The flash over the top.
Because Gokhan's actually not even playing there this time. It's actually Danimals being the anchor. So Adrian needs a kill. He can't find it. Okay, so now maybe that magic will happen here. Stallions are going to get this plant immediately. No hesitation on that. Gokhan getting overwhelmed, calling that he knows that somebody's trying to push him, but now No has to go against 2. He only has that USP. That's not too bad, but he gets the 1. Good response from Liquid. Now things are back to an equal footing of a 2-2.
Yeah, pretty crazy that No gets in there.
Oh my gosh. KLB.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
We got a big flank, but it might be too late.
Oh no, it's bad.
They get that kill, but they don't know where KLB is. So he just comes in firing, and he doesn't hit the shot, and that means defuse. And the map win to TL 13-10, a second time in extra rounds that they will get the better of Stallions. As very happy with Gokhan's performance there. He definitely had a very nice second half of that map. I mean, some big shots, some very clutch moments from him. It's not over yet, but Team Liquid do have a big lead in this series now with Porte as map 5, new compound up next. We're maybe going to have to see more magic tricks from the side of Stallions to make it interesting. We're taking the tape off of the players.
Just rip it like a Band-Aid. Just
go for it.
All one shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst. But no, honestly, I definitely agree with you. I think that Liquid played a really good game. I felt like they were a little bit more in control. You could tell that Stallions were trying these plays where they wanted to go for big flanks. They wanted to try to do all these creative things. Just wasn't enough. But look, we're going to let the desk talk about it because that is a lot to break down, because now we go all the way to the distance here. We'll find out if Liquid can close out.
And Team Liquid, after an intense battle against the Stallions, now lead 2-1, officially one game away from entering into the grand finals. What a game that was on New Mexico. Absolutely not disappointing. Really did go back and forth. At one point, Team Stallions was in the driver's seat. Team Liquid took it back, vice versa. Kyle, there was a straggler, though, for the longest time for TL. However, despite all of that, they still managed to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a rough one there for Danimal, but at the end of the day, as the AG.AL, he can bring them back with those players around him, and that's exactly what we saw in the server. I mean, Adrian outperforming Gokhan the entire time, making that shotgun just masterful in the server, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do next.
Yeah, a lot of interesting picks from Team Liquid, not only in their weapon selection, but also the way they were playing.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really expecting the push-pull offense to actually work in this particular map, but hey, the Animals made it work, and with what I said earlier, right, the snipers are going to have, you know, a bit less of a presence here on the map of Mexico, but it seems like I might have been wrong, because Gokhan really did make it work, and Adrian, man, this is what I was talking about, the riflers, they really have to step up to the plate, and it seems like the rifler with the shotgun really did it.
Yeah, we saw an interesting shotgun come out that we don't normally see, Kyle. No, you got or at least that kind of interested you quite a bit. We go early on, though, and this is where we really do see the back and forth battle, kind of reminiscent of the previous games. The Team Liquid fans, though, were going absolutely crazy and insane every single time TL was able to get a win. I felt at one point Team Liquid was in a driver's seat, but that was before Stallions and then taking it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough when you have everybody performing close to their peak on Team Liquid. I mean, you know it's a good sign when you have two players over 20 kills that aren't Gokhan on the team here, and I just love the amplification they've had in a map like Mexico, and this was a critical one for them. This map could very well dictate the series.
Yeah, we were talking about that, right? New Mexico arguably could have been a must-win for the Stallions side. They unfortunately lose by a narrow margin. The scoreline, though, we go into overtime. This is where Team Liquid started to really come to form, and they didn't drop a single round once we go to OT, outside of maybe one. Irregardless, though, they hug it up, and they know they're now one game away. We look at the summary, ends 13-10, as close as you could possibly get it. Why? Adrian tearing up the competition with 22 and 24 respectively. Stallions, though, still had some great stats, but ultimately the timing and the strats from TL took them down.
Yeah, and you can see, you know, really dying a lot in the map of New Mexico, and really had to be the guy pushing the point forward for the Stallions team, and the rest of the team just really couldn't take it, especially when it comes to overtime. Granted that there was some very, very good teamwork rounds from the side of Team Stallions, the stability of Team Liquid, especially when it comes to those tense moments, really cannot be ignored.
No, for sure. Team Liquid have been looking incredible, but again, throwing out some weird strategies. I mean, they're doing things that we're not used to seeing on the battlefield.
Yeah, I think they're meeting Stallions right where they're at. We've seen it with Adrian in particular in this match, playing very aggressive in that alleyway, not being afraid to challenge players like No, and that's what you need to beat a team like Stallions.
Yeah, you got to challenge No. You've got to take him out. You take him down, you take out the lead Slayer. I've got to say, though, despite Stallions taking a loss, I have been quite a fan of Loy and the energy he's bringing. He's been shooting bodies all tournament long. but man, he's going to have to do more than that going into Game 4.
Yeah, especially with the map of New Compound, right? Once again, I am going to say that the snipers are going to have a bit less impact in this map unless we are talking about that initial mid-duel. But at the same time, those corners are going to be HKs and EBRs all around. So once again, the riflers really have to step up to the plate, whether it is Stallions, whether it is Team Liquid here.
Last year, it was all China in grand finals. This year, it could be the Philippines. It could also be Brazil. Now, for Brazil, it's been a long time since they had the opportunity to win an international event.
Yeah, I would love to see them with that opportunity to take it once again. It's been so long. 2019 was the last time Brazil lifted a trophy at international competition, and I'm hoping there's a chance they could do it here.
But it's even been, since a couple years since they've even been in a grand finals.
Yeah, 2 years since they even had an appearance for the region. It wasn't even this team either, Goken. It's been even longer since he had that opportunity, but I know he's hungry for that chance because this guy has been so close so many times.
A lot of great series when it comes to EWC, not only here on the main broadcast, but also out there on Amazon Prime. It's called Level Up Season 2. If you haven't checked it out, you should give it a try.
A lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it.
They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their entire family.
They have defeated their demons! They have crushed the curse!
Welcome back to the Allianz Vault. The stage is about to light up once again as we head into map 4, but this time is different. Team Liquid now lead in the series, one map away from moving forward into the grand finals. For the Brazilian scene, though, they are ecstatic at the opportunity. They haven't been in the grand finals in 2 years. They haven't hoisted an international trophy since 2019. Is this the chance? Will they take it? Or will the Stallions come back, force a Game 5, and then also have their opportunity into the grand finals? For the Stallions, we've been watching on bated breath for them to clutch round after round, but Team Liquid, resilient as ever, has shut them down. What do we expect from New Compound with these two Titans facing off?
I mean, in my opinion, I feel like New Compound really matches Team Liquid's style well, right? You really want to hunker down Turtle as much as possible when it comes to this map, especially when it comes to the B side. The amount of angles that you can have on the defense is just absolutely insane. And I feel like the priority for the side of Team Liquid is not going to be in the mid position. Instead, it is going to be around that entrance B area going into spawn as they fight for control.
I agree. It's all about fighting on the sites for Team Liquid. They have that scrappy play style, but they're very good at trading up close and personal. And that's where we've seen Stallions slipping in these very aggressive, fast fights up close, which is a bit untraditional for them because you look at their previous matches, they were very good in the aggressive fights.
Yeah, and I mean, if Y especially can be activated here in this map, maybe they can enable themselves to kind of cancel out those initial plays that Stallions like to do for the sake of map control, maybe on the underside of tower, maybe we're going to see it in B, and I would like to see some action on long A as well, because we do not see too much action there, but if it does, then that pressure might be too much for Stallions.
Going back to Danimals, I know he was underperforming on map number 3, but they still get the win, being the AG.AL himself. But man, if he can AG.AL and slay out in New Compound, Stallions might not have a chance.
Yeah, they just need that extra little bit of difference to feel safe going into this one, because if you want a third map in a series against Stallions, it's going to take your entire team bringing their A game, and that's where I'm not 100% sure Liquid is there just yet.
One of the good things, though, we've just witnessed Stallions walk in, and they still have some smiles on their faces. That's what they're known for. As long as they're smiling, there's always a chance.
Of course, as long as the vibes are right for the side of Team Stallions, as long as they are having fun on stage, that is what is important, because the moment that they tilt, that is where the match can be lost.
Yeah, they've got to keep the composure here. This is a very crucial one, especially because they're going to have to do it 2 maps in a row now as well. but the vibes have always been good with this team. We've seen them do it so many times in this tournament already, where it feels like they have a bit of a rough start, but this team knows how to claw back when it matters most.
And speaking of no, do the Team Liquid, do they focus him once again? They did so in the last map. They shut him down despite a high kill count. No, just couldn't get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I think the style is just going to do it itself, right? I feel like new compound is going to be very difficult for No, especially knowing that he's going to be the second guy in for the team. He has to really play out of his mind.
It's going to be a rough map 4, but will it be a rough one for the Stallions or Team Liquid? Team Liquid now put themselves one map away from entering Grand Finals. The Brazilian fans are looking forward to this one. Can Team Liquid get their team over the line, or will Stallions extend the series, go to a Game 5? Maybe we'll see Porte. At the end of the day, it's up to the competitors to decide. Let's go to the casters to get new compound started.
Thank you very much, guys. We're getting ready for map number 4. New compound, always a treat. As the Vamoses have already begun here on the side of Team Liquid, just hoping that they can get across the line. They're one step away from meeting Baisha in the finals, as both of these teams are fighting for that last spot in our finals, which will be played tomorrow. It's going to be a joy to watch that and the third place match as well. Stallions, as our desk talked about, they're never out, even though this feels a little bit down and out with the map pool being the way it is, and new compound, and Sneaky talking about how No might struggle on this map. Can never count them out. They just somehow make it happen at times, and Team Liquid, though, have been super strong today. They win a couple of close maps, and it might just be enough to get them across the line.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to that other point too about like a team that's like in the deficit now, right? Where Stallions, they've proven that they can make a comeback, and this is where they realize, okay, look, if we don't find this map, then we're done. Our tournament lives are over. A team that has been able to push the boundaries of tournament life. So this is where I do kind of feel like Stallions still have it in them, right? I mean, we were talking about it ain't over yet, and I definitely feel like for these guys, like it might just be a bit of a wake, or a rude awakening, I should say, just because now they're like, all right, we got to give it all. Like, we cannot hold back anymore. I feel like obviously they were doing that, but you got to find that extra 10, 15% that you got to push just to continue on and not be done yet in this best of 5.
Yeah, it could be a good amount of, positive pressure for them to try to just really force that 5th map, which we are absolutely expecting, even though we do have TL in the lead here going into this new compound. As we do have the Stallions taking their time with this one, they're going to go for the long A play that Sneaky wanted to see. As Danimal's going to go down here. They get that kill. As No picks it up. A lot of damage done by him. But they're able to back away and go for a reset. It's probably going to look mid to B, you would imagine, at this point.
Yeah, I would almost think so. And that actually would be the best read in the world from these guys too, right? Because look at Liquid. They're completely grouped up in this A site. But they're just going to do it. Oh, no. They went through the funnel. They're going to continue going through it. So now they're going to try to press through the boundary of this. But, okay, No still finds himself some kills. Goken can't get it done. Oh, my goodness. We're talking a quad kill. No's putting himself in another ace territory, but KLB will take it. But it doesn't matter. It gets him around.
Yeah, the B site was open as we could see, but I guess, maybe they were expecting that Team Liquid would rotate actually over to B, but Team Liquid had a good read as they expected the push to come into A, and it really just came down to a straight up, brute force firefight through smoke, and it looked good for TL at the start, but I think after that initial play happened right outside the main door, we saw that they were all looking at long. They were just expecting a bit more pressure from long, and they were just not ready for the rest of the guys to pour in through the front door. And obviously, No had to hit some big shots on top of it all, but when does he not have to do that? So Stallions start off very nicely here on new compound. Bit of a slower pace to start off with this. And I'm curious to see how they're going to mix it up.
Well, it's just funny, too, how Sneaky was saying, and I don't disagree with him, but he's like, No might struggle on this. And then he gets a quad kill. It's like, this guy don't stop, apparently, right? Like, this guy's just a menace in the server. So that's the thing. If he can put up any sort of, extra 5, 10, 15% more than what he's been able to do so far in this series, it might just be the, the difference maker of them pushing this to a 5-map affair. But we'll have to wait and see. That is only one round in, but can't help but get excited, right? Like, I mean, this is where it just, Stallions, like I talked about, they're powering up. This is what they do.
Yep. Slow and steady wins the race for them. In the place of note, though, he did go straight into mid with essentially nothing except the smoke and almost get a kill through the smoke onto Gokin. So he's starting off pretty nicely, and they've identified that Danimals is playing this box, and even our desk was talking about how Danimals had kind of a slow map 3. So, you know, sometimes you can do that where it's like, well, we want to target this one guy. Like, we got the kill, the first kill from the last round. Maybe we just go for him again. They don't get the kill this time, though. Danimals is going to stay alive. Y is not ready for the push, even though you got to be in that position. And now Danimals in the corner, not able to get that done. And No picks up another kill. They do get this A site essentially for free. Only losing Loy. Nice shot here from Adrian. And you see 7-7's taking pot shots at No, who's just going to play around the pillar.
Yeah, and again, they're just kind of waiting things out. They time on to 7-7, so now it's for Adrian here on the 1-on-2. This is where Stallions, I feel like they just need to reset this. Like, they're still trying to fight. Like, they have one person on the top position, one person on the low, and they make it work. So, I mean, it's pretty risky, but that is just how their team is. They're bold, they're fierce. There is no fear on this team. Like, they just go for it, right? So that's what makes them so unpredictable in a way, too, because you would think in a classic setup, you're like, a team's just going to play more passive. I can kind of push in that room. I can get a little bit of something to work with. No, like, Stallions will get in your face and make it a problem. So 2 convincing rounds go here for the Stallions. But now Y's trying to make something happen. I think this could be an issue because he's missing these shots. He's not getting fed them yet. He finally gets something with 1, but it's quickly back here from Stallions being able to find themselves 2 kills. And this mid control from Liquid, it's a light approach, but he does something. It makes a little bit of a dent.
Yeah, I think if this does go to a map 5, maybe Sneaky should say that No's going to struggle on Porte as well. Because it seems to be working out really well in terms of getting No on the scoreboard, because 7-0 in 3 rounds, and the round isn't even over. It's pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I mean, Sneaky's right. Like, his analysis was correct. I mean, I get it. It's just funny. I'm like, man, he's like, it's like the caster curse where it's like the opposite now. And No's like,
caster blessing.
Yeah, the blessing. That's exactly it, right? And No's just like, no, I'm gonna pop off. Actually, I'm just gonna go nuts.
What?
And these guys are hitting shots like this. This is the thing. Like, duel like that, Adrian goes down. That's just even more of an advantage now. So look at this defense. Look at how they have to set this up. And I don't blame them. I almost would love to see where they double stack a B site and just kind of retake A, but I feel like it's too far gone. They have to play this now.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of time, you could say, to kind of group up at this point. So maybe Gokin goes for the clutch in this case in the 1v3, as they're just going to push in through long. They don't have any idea that he's here, but they do find him, as Gokin, you know, he's not going to be able to cover both doors. So at the end of the day, this is what happens when you split up like this. And they both had snipers as well, so pretty rough spot for TL.
Yeah.
And we might be looking at a 3-0 start here for Stallions, which is gigantic at this point. As maybe I cursed them, 7-7 comes in, gets the first shot. Still some work to do as he does go up into heaven. He's looking to rain down on them, doesn't know where they're at. Tries to get the pistol kill, not going to happen as No picks up his 8th of the 3 rounds. And that'll be the timeout.
Yeah, I would imagine Team Liquid are going to call this because I think they need to, because they're not really looking like they have much of fight in them right now. It feels like they're kind of just slugging in this game. And I mean, this is where Stallions, again, they're not doing anything overly creative, right? They're just kind of going for control. They're doubling up. They're just winning these fights. And they're just, it feels like almost every single duel, like 9 out of 10 times they're going to win it, right? And it's just the positioning from Liquid's getting a little bit awkward, a little bit weird. So for them, this is a good moment for the coach just to kind of reevaluate their game plan, because the current one's not working. I would like to almost see, maybe not immediately now, but I would like to see that mid control being taken a little bit more with like players. We saw there was only 2 that one time. I mean, we typically see teams that commit 3 or 4. That might be a good way for them just to go for some gunfights, but they're going to have to try something a little bit differently. Even maybe B main control would be good. Just fight for some kind of control in the map. You just have to do something where Stallions have to really think about what they want to do in this.
Yeah. I do love how in CROSSFIRE, sometimes you'll see someone just take out a giant stack of paper and be like, all right, here we go. Let's, okay, we're going default 3. It's like, it's like an NFL team or something.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is our setup now. and take the pause. Whatever we were doing is not working. So let's go back to the drawing board. I got my stack of paper here.
Exactly.
And we'll see if the mix-up helps them, as the shot started good for 7-7. But eventually you got to push into 2, and they're looking right at him. So not much he could do in that circumstance, but it's still worrying for Team Liquid, where it's like the back and forth of it is Team Liquid win a map, and it's like super close. They win in extra rounds. And then Stallions stomp them on the next one. And then again, we go to New Mexico. Team Liquid take it eventually in a close one in extra rounds, and now Team Stallions are stomping them, at least early on. It's not over yet, but you gotta feel that Team Liquid, they might have that in their heads. And let's see how this is gonna go for Stallions as well after this timeout that was called by TL. A lot of nades in the mid, trying to read this pressure, and actually Y is there. They just did not expect him there after all of the nades were thrown in.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward angle, right? Because typically you see a player just kind of hugging that wall, or like just a little bit off that wall, but he was wide open, right? So very much a timing thing where it's good positioning from Y, being able to find something, takes down No, so that guy that's, you know, been just running around, going on a rampage, finally gets humbled just a little bit. So now Stallions, we'll see what they can do without him. This is a big test here for someone like Loy, or, you know, maybe even JJ. Like, he's had himself a decent series so far. So we'll have to see who can be able to prevail. But all 4 players grouped up here in Tower. Liquid here with the triple stack in A, so a nice 3-2 split. The GR spawn is open, like that is up for grabs. As soon as, you know, Danimals can't see anything, this is something they can make the cross through. And they might want to do it soon. Those smokes are getting in place. And they still have a little bit of utility they can use if they want to for the exec. Well, they're going to switch this up. They might even try to contest for B main control, and Loy's already been able to find himself some really good information, realizing, okay, this might actually be more for free than we thought. So this is a good read right now from Stallions.
Yeah. Adrian here on low health has swapped over to the sniper. And he is able to leg him, but doesn't get the kill, and that's JJ on the entry, picks up 2 just like that. We got 3 low health members here on the side of Stallions. We got no frag grenades on the side of TL, so this is just gonna have to be a clean setup push as KLB's trying to play in mid. He picks up 2 just like that. And Goken, he has done so much, but he can't do it here in this round. And that is now 4-0 to the side of Stallions, and no tack pause left for TL.
Yeah, I love that, though. Again, the one thing that Stallions are doing so well is they're just waiting for one of those players to just go for like a flank, essentially. You're just trying to catch them on like a, you know, like a 3 or 6 o'clock, right? So this is what I love. Like, we saw that, I think that was what, KLB that just was able to pop through mid, and he's like, oh, hey, look, I'm here. And then Liquid are like, why are you here, right? And then like they just get more disassembled. So it's good work from Stallions. Just, again, these site controls and what they want to do with the real estate that they grab, like they overextend all the time, and it definitely seems like it's panning out well. And Liquid, once again, a round that was looking decent for them. They took down the heavy hitter of No, but then you had someone like, you know, JJ that was able to find himself that 2-piece. Getting that entry was huge, and now it's Danimals. He's going to pull on back from this. He has a bit of a noise cue that these guys are trying to contest for long. Not the guy that wants to go for the fight. Instead, will join his comrades. The right play to do here. Stallions, they don't fall for it this time. This time they're going to regroup.
Yeah, I do like it. I mean, that's multiple times now where Stallions, they try to push and pressure into A-long, and it's not a full Camille, of course, unless you're trying to go kind of against the grain and go for something unexpected. But if you can go there and get the pick off like they did in round 1 against Danimals, and then essentially reset and go for a follow-up push, you're in a fantastic spot. I do think that this map can feel very good for the GR side, but if an initial pick goes to Blacklist, you only have 4 people, it makes the B site much weaker. And it's difficult to get information, especially if you do play this turtley style that we do see very often. As now Danimals tries to poke out. He gets sat down by No. That is not an even matchup right now with the way that No and Danimals are playing. As now a flash here, but they just take over the spawn. Is not looking the right way. Y is going to take him down. Not able to get KLB. And Goken up in the window. Does get sat by Loy. And it is just 7-7 who has to come in here late once again.
Yeah, now it's just down to him in this tower position, or Heaven. I mean, not going to be easy at all. He has to be lights out here with the pistol. He has to jump down, being able to win this fight, and then survive to go against Loy. Loy here just getting the jump spot, so now they know exactly where he is for sure. And look at No, he just goes for the swing. Well, short-lived here for 7-7, but man, Stallions, like you said, it feels like they get on these certain maps that they like, and it's just a bulldozer, right? It's a wrecking ball that's come through. Like, we're talking a 5-0, and what have we seen? I think one round that's been very close. Otherwise, I feel like Stallions have taken it with full stride here. So, like, this is, like you said, it's got to be getting in Liquid's head a little bit. Like, especially Danimal's calling the shots. He's like, man, I got to figure out what I got to do for the team, because that's where that AG.AL responsibility is just so high.
Yeah, and they already took that tack pause, and you know, Stallions on sub-base, it makes sense, right? You come in a new compound, it's like, well, I feel like this should be a map that both of these teams should be relatively comfortable on. I don't give Stallions the big lead in terms of comfort on this map, so
no.
I think it's just Stallions' Blacklist side has looked phenomenal, and honestly, TL haven't brought in a whole lot. It feels like they're playing very default. We haven't seen too many mix-ups, and when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, Stallions are hitting the shots a bit better, so just playing a bit better Crossfire at this point. KLB now just trying to maybe dry swing in here. They're not going to expect Adrian this close with that smoke coming in, and the nades as well. Let's see how much value Adrian can get here in the smoke. As the flash comes in, he gets flashed himself, but does get one, and that's two as Y gets one as well. Loy tries to push in, but Y steps up big time to stop this beat push.
Yeah, it's much needed too. I mean, this is where Team Liquid needed something to happen. So, I mean, for them, this could be a good way to get rid of that goose egg. But look, you still have KLP, you still have No alive. No's going to get overwhelmed here. Position's just a little bit off. Danimals, that's a really nice spot for him. Now he can just pull back, and there we go. The teamwork will make the dream work. Liquid find themselves around, and maybe road to redemption here, Valdez. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere with that one. We saw Danimals actually boosted on the door. We've seen that quite a lot, actually, at this tournament, and he's no stranger to it as well. So he just is sitting in the smoke up on top of the door. No pushes past, and it's free pickings for Danimals as they're trying to go for it once again.
That's sick.
I mean, you know, if it's not working for you when you're trying to peek them, just, you know, camp on top of the door. I think that's fine. Like, you got a lot of value just doing that and taking down No. So it's actually going to be Goken who's playing this spot. And this is a risky spot, but not one that Goken is scared of, as the nades are going to fly. He wants to get the one. He will not have it, as Stallions, they are so good at punishing that. And now Danimals is in a bit of an awkward spot, but he's got a smoke to help him out at least. And they're not going to continue pushing just yet.
I think it's a good call, though, right? Like, I mean, I know Goken went down this round, but I do like the fact that Danimals is like, look, I can't hold long A like this. We need to put someone like you, Goken, to hold this. Yes, it doesn't work this round, but I think the theory of this makes a lot more sense. He can fight those long duels. He can get that information. He can get out of there where Danimals is just going to be straight rifling. So I do like that adjustment. I think it makes sense. Danimals is playing a bit of a cheeky angle. So this is a good little bit of a change-up. Yes, it hasn't worked technically, but I do think it is the right call. These are those small little adjustments you have to make when things are just not working. So it is a good little bit of a theory crafting from Danimals. But he might have to get out of this position because this is going to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, if they push long A, which they are, they get the bounce through the window. He's got to drop down now, because now he's just a sitting duck, essentially. He tries to go around. At least he gets the one, but it's still not a good look on the round. And look at where KLP is playing, just in the middle of the map, waiting for the rotations to come in. And there it is. It's a free kill on a 7-7. They know where Adrian is going to be coming from, and maybe he just gets the follow-up. There it is. Nicely done from KLP, and the round looks so easy for Stallions. They take down Goken, and from there, excellent play on long to just pressure. That's not going to be something that Team Liquid expect.
No, exactly. And I think the good thing for Danimals, or for Team Liquid, they could try to redo that setup, because Danimals did drop down, so it isn't obvious he was playing there. So they actually could try to contest it, but they actually are going to go for mid. They're going to try to put some aggression into this. Seems like it's a little bit back and forth. Both teams are starting to throw some jabs and some crosses, but it is going to be Stallions, though, that seem to be taking a little bit more of the beating on this one. No's been down to critical HP. You have Loy that's taken some damage. Doesn't seem to matter at this point. So you have Goken alive. You have Danimals alive. But Goken has to be able to find something here with the sniper. He has to make a connection with this TRG quickly. Danimals, though, is getting active in B main, so he's going to get a ton of information. don't know if it's worth it for him to push all the way through. It looks like he might even debate this. Gouken, I like that he's anchoring. I was going to say that might be just a bit too careless for me. I'm thinking just if he could stay alive, get any sort of noise cues or anything that would have helped. But now Gouken has to just be lights out.
Yeah, and I keep saying that he can be good in these spots, but he hasn't been today in like 1v3s, and it's a lot to expect, obviously.
And this is a bait.
Okay.
That's honestly, I like it though, because what Bill was doing is he's just going in. He's like, hey, even if I die, you know exactly where he is. Go to the opposite, right? So he was just clearing, and then he wins it, which is more ridiculous, right? But it's just like, again, that's really good teamwork from Stallions. They're just like, okay, yeah, sacrificial lamb, we'll be fine. And unfortunately for Gouken, yeah, like you said, unfortunately, he's just not showing his impact that what we saw in map 1 and 2, right? Or map 1 and 3, I should say, sorry. But yeah, it seems like it's a little bit more quiet on this one.
Yeah, the whole team has been, you know, it hasn't been a good look from Team Liquid on this map specifically so far. 7-1, giving Stallions 7 blacklist side wins is a bit too much, I'd say. So unless TL have something insane for the next half, I don't see them having much luck on this one, as Gouken's going to start off with a couple, as Adrian will as well. KLP does get that kill with the pistol back, so at least he's able to do that. And now the 1v2, and you got a sniper. I mean, there is a chance for KLP. It's obviously not an easy spot, though, as our snipers have been put into many of a wonky spots today.
Yeah. And I feel like KLP, like, he can be clutch, but he's not the guy that I would put like as the clutch player on this team, in my opinion. Like, he can definitely have his moments, but we'll see. This is a good play from Liquid, though, doubling up like this, because it makes the most sense, right? Because if they would have gone double stack A and they have to retake it, could still be fine with numbers, but why make it harder for yourself? Just go in the more difficult site. But KLP, is he going to overcook here too? Oh, he's going to overcook.
It is a Stallions player, so...
yeah, they overcook a lot.
It could be any of them.
It could be any of them.
This time it's KLP. But now, I mean, he gets into the A site, he's going to get a lot of information that they're not here.
Yeah.
And this is a site where you can plant for playing sniper very well. So he's going to do exactly that. He's going to back off into mid. And if he gets... Well, okay, now he's pushing them. They're going to come around the corner. He gets the shot! And he backs away. This is KLP's moment as we get the big zoom in onto him. And there it is! He does not miss those. Stallions 8-1 off to the back of a clutch of KLP.
Oh man, I'm already like, I just pulled the caster's, blessing. I was like, yeah, he doesn't clutch much. Yeah, whatever. And then look at him. That was beautiful. He goes for the fight, right? Like I kind of heard the emphasis in your voice. So you're like, he's pushing. He's pushing. I'm like, yeah, he's going to try, right? And I mean, it's not a bad play because he goes for that duel, and then that counter flash was great. He was able to just reposition perfectly. It did land. Wow, what a dominant first half. I don't think we've had that one as dominant. I know the first, sub base was close, like 10-2 that way, where like it's a close contender for domination, but I don't know, an 8-1 lead, I don't think we've seen that yet. So that's not in this series at least, but man, it's that is a statement to make. And they got some gas in the tank.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, this is getting very one-sided. TL, we saw that they were able to get back to the drawing board and win on New Mexico, but again, it was like so difficult. Like, Stallions always make it so difficult for any team that they play against. And yeah, I think if you're TL, give it your best shot here on New Compound, but probably just gonna have to go for a reset, as Adrian is gonna push through, takes a bunch of damage from the tower. And I really wanted to see more of TL's blacklist side on this map. I was very curious, but just might not get to see much as the flashes come in. As there's the counter, and it's perfect for No to just pop out and mow them down. As Loy not gonna get the kill, but it will be KLP to follow up. It's 9 here for Stallions. And do we just have them 10-1 then?
I would love it. I would love it, honestly. Like, I mean, no disrespect to Liquid, but I think just the fact of Stallions being able to push this to a map 5, what we all were predicting anyways, we were wondering if this was going to be like grueling games, like they're going to go like those 13-10s or 13-12s or whatever. But the fact that, like you said, 13-11 the first, 10-2 the second, 13-10 the third, now we have a conversation of a 10-1. Man, that just, again, that's going to be tilting for Liquid. And even better for Stallions, because imagine that momentum just built from this and like that confidence these guys have. You can't even give them more confidence. Like, you know what I mean? That's over the charts.
Yeah.
That's just scary. That's a scary sighting.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the map scoreline so far. No does put up the 15-4 so far, so a chance for him to end up with something like a 4 KD or close to it if he doesn't go down in this round. And he has been supported by his teammates as well. This is a team effort this time, as maybe he goes down here, already taking a bunch of chip, and Y's going to start it off with the first kill onto him. And there's a second one. Y going big. He does get traded out as KLB getting so much value. What is happening? 2 snipes and a pistol kill. As KLP is right there for the help, and now Danimals, it's so obvious where he's going to be playing. They just peek him. The bomb's on the ground. And there it is. KLP swinging by the 10-1 victory for Stallions. And we will have our map 5 as was predicted. Not a big surprise here.
Honestly, I love it. I love the fact that these guys come in. They're already down the maps. We were maybe having the conversation of Liquid being able to close things out. But Stallions stay alive. They put up a masterclass performance on this map. Now the difficult task is here. We talk about Porte. That's the last map we go. Liquid have played this so far in the tournament. They were able to have themselves a pretty good sighting on this before, but I mean, that was a very different team that they played against. So we'll have to see what Stallions have been able to pick up and watching the demos and the replays and everything. And man, I'm more excited for this. Stallions have proven that they are such a championship level team.
Unbelievable stuff from them. We are going to have our map 5 in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
What an unbelievable development as Stallions managed to clutch up and tie up the series. We go to a Game 5. But really, we always knew it was going to go to a Game 5 between these two, right? Because they've got history from the past couple of days. They played each other on B Stream. It went to Game 3 back when it was a best of 3. Now that we moved to a best of 5, we knew it was going all the way. However, what a comeback to lose so narrowly on New Mexico 13-10 to then come back for the Stallions and beat them on New Compound 10-11. Talk about a regain.
Yeah, and I was really expecting Team Liquid to be a bit more proactive when it comes to this map. You know, a lot more fights towards long A, a lot more fights towards mid, but it seems like they kind of took the turtle strat a bit too seriously. And it seems like it was just a full-on flood from the side of Team Stallions. They were just walking all over the place.
Yeah, honestly, we've got to be critical of those key riflers. We've seen very hot and cold throughout this matchup from Team Liquid so far. Danimal, out of the 4 maps, continuing to underperform a bit here in map 4 as well. But we also have an interesting pattern we're starting to see in this series. You have one very close game, followed by Stallions having a dominating performance in the second map. You saw that on 3 and 4 here as well. But that kind of scares me, because if the pattern repeats itself, it means Liquid could win a close map in map 5.
Yeah, and it kind of can go in that direction, right? Especially in the map of Porte, you are going to be wanting redemption if you're on the side of Team Liquid, and you know that is the time to do so, especially if you're Gouken right now, who went 6 and 10 in the set summary.
It's amazing that Y was even able to squeeze out 11 kills despite the scoreline being 10-1. KLB doing a great job alongside that of KLP, 14 and 12. No, consistent as ever. Loy and JJ a bit lower, but then again, does it really matter when it went 10-1?
Yeah, definitely not at this point. I mean, Stallions, that was just a steamroller in action that we saw. And if they can play that way, just 2 maps in a row, this series is definitely theirs. But like Sneaky's been hinting at, Porte is a bit of a dangerous game to play against a team like Team Liquid. This is one of their best maps.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid, of course, still a very, very big threat coming into this map number 5. And really, they should not take it lightly, in all honesty. We've seen multiple highlights from Gouken against Filipino teams, to be specific, on this map, so they really need to tread carefully.
But at this point, stamina becomes a real thing. I mean, these guys have been battling hard. It's not like it's just been, oh, we're going to Game 5. No, for the past, hour and a half, 2 hours, they've been going at it as hard as they possibly could and giving it their all, right? I mean, when we talk stamina, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a long series, constantly engaged, constantly doing your best. I mean, Kyle, even the best in the world sometimes get tired and fatigued.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like right now, out of these 10 players, the only one we haven't seen really take their foot off the gas is No, and I think that's going to be key in this final matchup. We saw it there in the 4th map. Even Goken can have his off games, but No is always there for the Stallions, and that's the problem they really have to be ready to deal with in map 5, because you know he's still coming with that energy.
Yeah, Coach Tanks as well. We got to give him credit where credit is due. Always behind him, always helping them out, and most importantly, helping them regain. It's not easy to lose a 13-10. It's not easy to lose, for example, at 13-11 like they did in map number 1. Yet somehow, some way, map 2, map 4, they come back in a big way.
Yeah, I just know that Tanks gave them that philosophical speech right before game number 4, and they're like, hey guys, we lost 13-11 in this game, but you know, where it's hard, it is also fun to play the game. And of course, once again, fun is the way to go for the side of Team Stallions, and it seems like they had a lot of fun when it came to new compounds, so hopefully the vibes have bounced back by the time that we reached map number 5.
Well, Stallions, Team Liquid, they're for sure fighting as hard as they possibly can. Game 5. That's what it comes down to, either to move on or play for 3rd place. I know which one they would rather do. Either way, for Game 5, it's going to be Porte coming up very shortly. What a crazy turn of events. Again, going to Game 5, going to Porte. It's going to be a fight for sure between these two great teams from different regions, one from Brazil, the other from the Philippines. But when we talk Brazil, right, being in the grand finals, this would be the first time since 2024, lifting the trophy since the first time since 2019. There's a long history when it comes to the regional debates of who is the best region when it comes to CROSSFIRE. Undeniably, it's been China. But when it comes to Brazil and the Philippines, they're doing their best to change the narrative. And we've got two of the best ready to sit or punch their ticket into the grand finals to play against Baisha.
Yeah, and of course, Baisha is going to be ready and waiting for the grand finals. They're probably watching this one with a magnifying glass, right? Especially considering how good Team Liquid is when it comes to their macro, when it comes to that push-pull kind of offense that we do see from time to time. And it seems like this will be a good match either way.
As Team Liquid goes to the stage, I noticed their coach was leading the charge, right? Getting his players behind him. He got a piece of paper. He's clearly taking his notes, doing his homework, and he's going to need to, for sure, going into the final map.
Yeah, I mean, especially after the series they're having, you've got to give feedback throughout here because they've had the coldest maps we've seen in this. Every map has either been a Stallions massive win or a very, very close nail-biter that Team Liquid is barely scraping by with. So you've got to really study those key moments and figure out how to adjust on the fly, and that's where the coaches really matter here.
But even still, despite Team Liquid only getting nail-biter wins against Stallions, they're wins nonetheless.
Yeah, they're still wins at the end of the day, and especially knowing that the Liquid wins are heartbreakers for the side of Team Stallion. So if they know that if they go the distance in this map of Porte, it still could be a dangerous game for them.
So as we head into Porte, you guys have been saying it's going to be tough for Stallions. What does Team Liquid do so well that Stallions might have to fend off against?
I think the hardest part is really going to be the sniper game here. Goken is very mobile on this map. He can play that A-top angle. He can take the bridge peaks on Porte, but he can also solo anchor the B bomb side. So he's going to be very present across this entire map, and they've got to be ready to deal with that.
So if Goken's such a problem, then who from Stallions needs to deal with them?
I feel like it's the entirety of Stallions, not gonna lie. KLP will have a lot of responsibility to go for these opening snipes, but at the same time, especially in that top A area, it has to be the full force of Stallions pushing into the sniper, and if they cannot do that, they're gonna drown in the map of Porte.
Lloyd was just on your screen again, shooting bodies. He's been unrelenting throughout the 4 maps, and he's gonna need to bring that energy to keep Stallions at an all-time high. You don't want to leave this stage knowing you narrowly lost, but that's what's up for grabs when it comes to both of these rosters, and they're going to be fighting hard. The fans have been wonderful on both sides, right? For Team Liquid, they've been cheering every single kill, every clutch, every single win. Of course, on the side of the Stallions, they also have that support. They're a family after all, but it's not going to be easy. For Goken, can he get shut down, or will he be the star-studded player that we know he can be to lead Team Liquid to victory? It's Stallions versus Team Liquid. It comes down to this. It comes down to one more map onto Porte. Will it be TL? Will it be Stallions? Let's find out.
Thank you very much, guys. We are getting ready for map number 5, the decider who gets to play up against Baisha in the finals, and who will have to settle for the third, fourth place match. It all comes down to this, as he just said. And this is a map where we're expecting strength from TL for sure, but Stallions start on the GR side, which is certainly the favored side on this map.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, this is the thing, like the desk did a great job talking about all the odds are against Stallions right now on a map like this. Team Liquid definitely have proven their track record on this, but being on that GR side might just be something of a winning factor for the Stallions, or getting at least something in motion. We'll have to find out. Everything down to this. The semifinals into the map number 5. So our predictions have gone somewhat true. But I'm just wondering if, for Stallion's sake, if that 10-1 victory really did just kind of create a big opening for him and maybe got in the head of Liquid. We'll have to wait and see. This is the biggest question mark to me about how does Liquid, bounce back into a game like this from a beating like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had to deal with a similar feeling from sub-base, and they were able to bounce back on New Mexico. So with the amount of veterans they have in here, I really think they can handle it. But let's see, as here comes the aggression on the B site. Those shots not ringing true for KLB, and they do make their way in. He is going to drop down. Now here come the reinforcements, and Danimals this time is the one putting up the score, and he is going to get so much damage done to the entirety of the Stallions roster. KLB trying to swing around the left side. He's going to pick up one. Now the spam not really lining up as KLB alive still, but Goken takes him down as he jumps up onto the boxes. And once again, TL will start strong on the map.
Yeah, look at the passion there too from Team Liquid. Just trying to get everything fired up. They need to just making sure they have enough here for this last map. But that was a great take from them, right? I mean, it seemed like they went for the execute, just waited a few seconds, and then again, they were just able to just get a ton of control on that bomb site. So really good from them. Stallions, they were trying to expect these fights a little bit quicker. So you can tell the positioning from Stallions started getting a little bit more scrambled, if you will. So good take from Team Liquid. Clean and easy round, like nothing too much complexity on that one. But we'll see what Team Liquid want to do with this. Now they're going to try to group up through mid. Now they'll try to go for no. They actually do take him down very early, so that's an important kill. So Adrian being able to find some good impact. Really good utility once again, being able to connect a ton of damage. So Liquid have actually just been eaten alive here by some of the HP. And now Goken, like, look at his HP. He's down to the red again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to show that much presence in mid and go immediately over to A, like, they're going to know, right? As the nades come in, Goken thought about it. He peeked for just a moment, but he's already quite low. And we do still have a couple of guys in that A connector. I mean, they could try to pop out, but the issue is, if there's somebody, JJ in this case, who's kind of looking right down the middle, he's going to see if they try to rotate out of this. And then you've got the guy up on top of A, who's always the most difficult player to root out here. So they're just going to have to go for it. As KLP is up here, we'll see how he deals with the pressure. He's not going to hit the shot, but immediately they know he's coming in, and JJ's taking pot shots right through the middle, as you would expect. No push to come through just yet, but KLP is so ready for it. As JJ gets another, and he drops down. 7-7 is so low with not much timing, and that is just going to be KLB putting an end to that. So reading the situation very well is Stallions, even after they lost no early.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really like that round, just again, because I was trying to really emphasize the importance of the utility work from Stallions earlier on in this series, where they've been able to showcase some good flashes and some good nade work. But I love the fact they do it, because when they threw all those nades onto short like that, you could see that JJ was just going for the swing. He's like, I think we might have done some damage. Obviously, they don't have full intel of that, but they had a pretty good inkling. So it's good to see, and then they capitalized on that opportunity. So great job from Stallions being able to bounce back immediately, not allowing Liquid to have any sort of, compounding building of this, right? Because again, if Liquid would have been able to find two, Stallions may be feeling a little bit more of that pressure, Liquid getting a little bit more confident. B site's going to be open. Stallions do actually give it up. So it's going to be a 5-on-5 retake scenario. And surely not JJ is going to go for this by himself. Surely not JJ. Okay, KLB is going to be able to find that kill. So now, look at this, the B warehouse, everybody's here for the party. Everybody's ready. They're just going to kick down the door. It's all about why. He has to be the bouncer. He has to be the guy that says no. And that smoke is going to be problematic. They have to go through this blind. This is a bad issue, but it doesn't even seem to matter. But Now all of a sudden this thing has turned to the 1v1. KLP has to be lights out. He has to do something big. And who other than KLP to put up another clutch?
Just a gigantic shot there from him as he, it's been a slow and steady day for KLP, but as the day has come along, his new compound was insane, and now starting off with that. Really like that retake there, just playing off of the entry man who takes the bullets, even through the smoke. Just the immediate follow-up for KLP to get the snipe down. And then, of course, the follow-up, the push that did come in onto the site was fantastic. Stallions playing this one very measured, even though Team Liquid have already gotten some decent spots early on onto Porte, especially from the Blacklist side. It's not looking so bad for TL, but they only have one round to show for it, so I'm curious where they go from here, as now it's Stallions' turn to actually push up a little bit here. A connector, and TL have felt this pressure and are waiting, sitting back for now.
Yeah, but again, it's good pressure, like you said, from Stallions. The fact that they're kind of pushed up like this is huge because, again, Team Liquid have to be very careful about their next move. Do they expect to see a double player stack like this? You have no in the lower corridor. You have his teammate right above him. So this is a really nice little bit of a cheeky double. Should be able to find this kill. He does. That's the bomb dropped. There's Loy, right? That's exactly what you want. And then you also have JJ just going for a swing on his own. So, Liquid just read like a book. And Stallions seem to be the chapter ahead on it right now. But you have Danimals alive. You still have Goken alive here too. Full utility belts for both these guys. So maybe they can make work of something. But that C4 is dropped. They don't have control of it. That might be an issue. Stallions are going to allow that control for them if they want to get it back.
Yeah. They do expend a smoke still just to make sure because, there's always guys looking right down the middle of the map. Goken trying to help out from the top here. Did he spot him?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
I think he just missed it.
He keeps on
I know, they're toying with us here.
Is he? No, okay. Well, looks like maybe just going A connector to A once again. Stallions dealt with this easily last time and they had, fewer members. And TL had, an extra guy. So I would expect them to be able to stop this, especially 20 seconds left. Well, Danimals, nice start here. And again, really not a lot of time. But Lloyd trying to play counter here on a Goku who drops down, not going to hit the shot though, and now Danimals just gets overloaded. Not much he could do as Loy has been all about the BM after the round. He just loves to do that. And Stallions, 3 rounds now in a row from the Global Risk side. Obviously looking very strong from this side, and this is the worrying part because we've all talked about this pattern where, when Stallions win the maps, they win it super one-sidedly. And if you're playing GR side of Porte first, you can get so many rounds under your belt, and I worry for TL's ability to close it out from that far behind based on what we've seen.
Yeah, no kidding. And I was thinking about even just for, the winners, for tomorrow for Baisha. We talked and joked about the coaches with tons of paper, and I was saying, look, N9 is a guy that has he has a scripture. The guy is just reading paper after paper of teams. So I'm wondering what his notes look like right now. He's probably just okay, Liquid do this, Stallions do that. And there's just so much you have to get. But this is a great round from Liquid. They're able to find 2 opening duels. That at least gives them something to work with. Noah is trying to contest, but he gets overwhelmed by utility, and the guns start to fire back here from Liquid. They are still within this game, and Stallions are starting to get a bit of a reality check of that. 2 players remaining for them now, but this is, again, putting Stallions in a clutch factor. This is something you can never count them out for, but this is something big. But no, KLP going down, surely this might be a bit too much for Loy. You have to find yourself a 1-on-5, and that's a flawless round. Barely, but it is. Liquid bounce back with something.
Yeah, very nicely done. I do think that, kind of reading the pressure very well of Team Stallions from the GR side. I think that Y is just standing there. He's they're definitely going to peek me. I just know it. He's waiting, and he taps on the head. He gets that first kill, and then JJ's well, I got to try to reswing that. I got to try to get 1 kill back. Now, he didn't necessarily have to, especially from the GR side, but that's just the way this team plays, and I feel like TL had a really good read that they were going to continue to peak, and they got so much value out of just essentially waiting for Stallions to peek them one by one, including No, who win for the third peak, and you saw what happened there. So now this time Stallions going to play a little bit more passively. They do not play here in the B main area, and that does mean that no initial kills will go to Y this time.
Flashes galore, and there it is, KLB. Look at that! It's a massacre! On for the ace. He's just so hungry, but Goken will steal it away from him. But again, KLB's done his job. And Stallions, what a statement to make on a following round that you lost. And the heroics of these guys, like we said, everybody can have their moment to shine. And they do it here and now so far on the GR side of Porte. This has got to be getting in Liquid's head. This has got to be more than frustrating at this point.
Yeah, I feel like the scoreline for Porte is not that bad for Team Liquid, right? Where they have 2 rounds from the global or from the Blacklist side, and I do feel like over the years teams have figured out how to get more value from the Blacklist side. But I think the timing of the timeout is not bad because they want to stop the ball rolling early, and immediately as that round gets very one-sided, I think this is a good time for GLC to come in and just say, "Hey guys, calm down, it's okay. We're still doing very well. I like what you're doing," and also kind of really hammer in those points where he doesn't feel like they're checking all the boxes. So I think it's a good timing to go for this timeout. Now the issue is we have seen this where they go for like a timeout around round 5, round 6, where they're behind, and then the map goes away from them, and then they don't have a timeout. So
yeah,
this might be the final stand for Team Liquid if they don't get something going.
Yeah, they have to get it here and now, right? I mean, this is where we talk a lot about the stats, and when you have those timeouts being called and just the importance of being able to win that round following it, it just feels like it pans out well for you, right? You're like, okay, that conversation was good. Now we move forward. Now we can, be on the positive end of this, but we'll have to see, right? Last timeout for the tournament lives here for Liquid. But what a beautiful hole. I love this replay. KLB just such a monster, right? I mean, this is where, he can be like such a strong anchor in these sites, like on the GR sides. Like we talk about him like on sub base and what he's able to do. This time he gets the rifle out and he just mows them down. So we'll see. We'll see what Liquid have in store for us. So they have to now look like they're planning for maybe even an A hit or a potential A little bit of an impact, but you have to worry about KLP. He does have that TRG. He's propped, like just ready to go on the top, waiting for it. Nades galore. Oh, they're getting space now, Valdez.
Yeah, they push in, and I like this. I don't think KLP has been the best up top. He's been good in other scenarios, but they are trying to pressure him now, and I love this. KLP only able to get the one, and Danimals goes up top. They are going to take them down, and it is a fantastic read from TL to pressure this A site. That is exactly what they needed to stay in this map.
Yeah, that was great, and I do agree with you. I think that KLP, like, despite his efforts, what he's been able to bring in this best of 5 and what he's been able to do in this map too, that position in the A tower, it's a ton of responsibility, right? I mean, you're the guy that's like sniping, you're the guy that has to get those kills, you have to stop the aggression, and the fact that he misses the shot, that creates so much space for Liquid, and honestly, that was great capitalization from these guys. So that was a really good read from them, just saying, look, we haven't really contested A, we keep trying to go B, let's go back and do this. So really good work from Team Liquid to be able to bounce back into it. Now Stallions, what do they want to do differently? A one-man army here in B, doubling mid, doubling A. And the last time that we saw Liquid go into the short control like this is where Stallions were just throwing nades everywhere, and it did a ton of damage. So we'll see if this might be a little bit differently here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what it is going to look like as they have stayed quiet for now. It's been Goken peeking a little bit from way out and long as the nade does come through, but it's only the one, and now they are going to be raining flashes. The counter flash does come out. It's going to delay this push a little bit, but the nade gets KLP, and they will push through. They have smoke in position. Adrian gets past. And now this is not a half bad spot. We do have the flank coming in, though, as KLB does pick off one, make it 2, and right as he flanks in, Lloyd jumps down and cleans it up. That is exactly how you have to play that out. KLB has been having a gigantic port so far.
Yeah, this has been amazing to see, right? Again, there's been so much talk about no this, no that, no's, so sick. He's such a slaughterhouse.
And he still is.
And he still is, yeah. I'm not even going to take that away from him. But the fact that we get to see, like, Lloyd, we get to see KLB, I've been always watching KLB. He's such a good player, but now he's really starting to pop off. This is where he's getting fired up. KLP, unfortunately, on the other end here, not able to find as much impact as he wants in these last couple rounds, but Stallions have been able to secure this half regardless of how this last round will go. If they can be able to find a 6, though, what a boost for them to get onto that BL side, right? But Team Liquid still very much up for grabs here. And it's been good calling from Danimals. I don't feel like there's anything that's been improper, really. It's just been some of the duels that have not gone their way.
Yeah, and it's always going to be difficult. I mean, I thought when Adrian got across there and they had the smoke in position and they had taken down KLP from the tower, like, they were in a good spot, but really it just comes down to KLB's flank timing. If that doesn't come through, he got 2 kills and distracted them and allowed Loy to essentially jump down. So a very close round that could have gone Teal's way, but some heroics essentially. As Noah's like, you know, I'm pretty low now, so maybe I get an opportunity here with the TRG. He's sitting at 2-7. Hasn't had the most fun on this map so far. And he's just going to back off of the play for now. As you see that TL, they got that initial pick on a KLP, but they really want to slow this down in the final round of the half.
Yeah, and Kyle was bringing up that big point about, look, like, no, if he can be able to maintain form, like the way he's been able to through all 4 of these maps, I mean, that could just be the winning recipe for these guys. But look, if people like KLB and Loy and those guys can be able to just kind of help him out, that might just be it as well. Now KLB tested one more time. JJ getting shots fired at him, but he's not going to get hit. Some warning signals, and he does win the fight. Oh man, that kill feed is loading blue once again here. Danimals does find himself that duel. KLB now, the anchor that's been so proficient, unfortunately cannot figure out this formula. And it is going to be the first half in favor for Stallions with a 5-4, but at least Liquid could work with something going into this GR side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is anyone's map from here, and Team Liquid doing a lot of work. It's been tough, right? From this position where they were down a lot of rounds, they had to take a relatively early tack pause, but to get up to 4 from Blacklist is good enough. And now anyone's map from here. Stallions, though, they have been pretty insane from this Blacklist side. I mean, just going back to, I think it was a new compound where they just were able to run over them over and over. Either way, it's been a great time for them on this side. Curious to see how much Porte practice they've had and how much prep they have for this map, because it is certainly a map that doesn't play like a lot of the other maps we have in the pool, so can be a bit of an outlier. But when you get into a best of 5, like, you're going to have it if you're not going to ban it. So we're going to get a sense of it in just a moment, as Stallions will have to push here. Looks like some mid pressure to start off. They're going to push Adrian off of the bridge. As a nade comes out from him, maybe expecting a fast rotate into connector, but not going for it just yet. Stallions showing a lot of patience.
Yeah, really just kind of, again, figuring out their options and what they want to do with this, so I don't actually mind this at all. Team Liquid probably expecting some kind of, you know, crazy, just full send. They're just going to go into it, but no, not the case at all. Some good amount of discipline here from Team Stallions, but the minute remaining on this, and now this is where, again, you kind of have to get something moving here, right? There's not a ton of real estate they have. I mean, they have this B warehouse control. This might just be the plan of attack. They might even try to do a bit of a 2-2 split, or 2-3 split, I should say, but we'll have to wait and see. Nade's getting thrown. This is going to block off against Goken. Yeah, but he still finds the timing on it. That's a big kill. JJ's gone. 7-7 has the full queue. He's here. But he misses the shots. You cannot have that. You cannot have that, Team Liquid. And now it just seems like KLB once again pulls up clutch. Liquid just fall apart when it comes to the fragging department. They just can't get it done. Positions are good, but you got to be able to shoot back.
Yeah, the positions are perfect. I mean, they had every read possible. They saw the push coming into mid. Goken gets the first kill. 7-7 is looking mid. Like, what more do you need? I think we had one kind of guy that flanked in from B very late. I didn't see who that was, so maybe that kind of threw them for a loop. But as you said, they got to hit those shots. That was TL's round to win, in my opinion. They had that first kill. They were very set up. They were just so ready for it, and it didn't seem to matter anyway. Stallions move up to 6 rounds now. And showing a lot of patience and, you know, keeping TL guessing for a while. But again, I feel like TL when the push was coming in, they weren't guessing anymore. Like, they had a very good read on what was happening and still not able to lock it in. Stallions, they get across the line, but I wonder how they feel after that round, you know, able to essentially outgun TL to just, you know, force win the round. And that's still going to feel good, but maybe they want to change up their strategy here. We'll have to wait and see as they are grouping around mid once again.
Minute and 20 remaining now on Stallions. Getting some short A control. And then having the double player in long, so this could be good KLB, but again, he doesn't have the right gun for this, but oh, that nade. Wow, I can't believe Goken actually got dodged by that, but okay, not bad. Couple points for evading, love that. Stallions not able to do any utility damage that they were hoping for. But this is the thing, like you definitely know for Stallions, like you're like, okay, Goken's most likely going to be playing A tower. And again, the way he's been playing most of the, like this series, it's like, do we really want to contest that? Do we really want to challenge that? I don't know. There has been moments Goken has missed like really important kills, but again, I do think it's more on the positive note than the negative. But we'll find out here and now.
Yeah, Goken, I mean, this is, this map, this spot, this is one of the places where he made his name. Like this is
the playground, man.
This is his comfort zone. I say that, immediately he misses. But Adrian is right there, and Goken, I guess he didn't miss. Maybe he got a leg or something. As either way, 7-7's over here as well, and this push is being shut down easily. I say that. No, and KLB able to put 1 and 1 together. KLB gets another one, but there's only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, he's got to go.
He's in the 1v2 here, trying to get the kill first. I mean, that's something you got to do, get the 1 kill and then go for the plant, but pretty dire straits for that side. So TL move up to 5. And they're keeping their hopes alive here from the GR side. That time looking much better in that round.
Yeah, I would have liked if Stallions actually did that a little bit faster, right? I mean, they kind of ran the clock a bit too low because, again, like, I think they made it kind of predictable. As soon as those nades were flying, like, Liquid knew right away. They're like, yeah, this is what they're doing. Like, they're coming to me. They're going to hit this A site. Like, everybody get here now. So if they would have had that extra 10, 20 seconds, I mean, that could have allowed the clutch factor playing in tower to maybe be less stressful, right? Less antsy, but nonetheless, Liquid respond very well to it. Like you said, Goken has definitely proven his name in that position. He does do it here with Adrian, so the two of them together do well, but still plenty of rounds to go. And single sniper here for Stallions, just KLP going to lock it. No has kind of floated the idea of it so far in this game alone, actually, since he's been a little bit more quiet. We have seen him actually put the TRG on his hands too. This time he's going to just rifle up, which again, I think makes the most sense on this BL side. I think you kind of want to just rely on him anyways, being the star rifler he can be. But a little bit of a 1-3-1 setup here from Liquid. This is interesting.
Yeah, they've got a lot of pressure over towards B main and just trying to play point there as Y and essentially funnel them over towards A. And I think it's not a bad idea, especially the way that last round did go, where it's like, okay, we shut this push down. The one in the last round, we just had this same push, and they're doing it again. This time a little bit quicker, as you like. And a bunch of flashes come over the top, but 7-7's ready. There's 2 snipers looking down this angle. Now, KLP wins against Goken. That is huge. KLP gets up top, but 7-7 is still alive, and they were so ready for this once again. It's felt like TL, every round, they've been super ready for the pushes. KLP in the 1v3 rather, is going to have to try to figure this out.
Yeah, like, do you want to play the top position or not? It seems like he will, but that timing is, it's not so bad. They're already creeping up. They're already going to be close on his 6. He's not going to be ready for this. One player's made his spotting. Oh my God, how does he land that? That might be a bit of a misplay. KLP given some kind of a chance again, but unfortunately gives his back, and Danimals has been able to put that dagger in a little bit deeper, and we're back to a tie game, but man, that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, this is still Porte GR side. It is still Team Liquid. And Stallions have had the ability to at least get that 1 round, but I worry for their chances, especially in this position, as we have another tactical pause. This time from Team Liquid. I thought the last one was from Team Liquid. Maybe
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, I swear it was Team Liquid, right? Like, what's going on?
Wait.
I'm like, hang on. I mean, we're a little tired, but we know what's going on here, right? Like,
this makes sense too, like timing wise.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I do think of your tanks watching those last 3 rounds. You're like, yeah, well, we got the 1, but this has not been easy pickings for us. And I think those last 2 pushes on A were. They were okay at best. I think you can definitely find some other angles to try to play, and I liked that push through mid that they had. I'm not sure they should have won that round, but I like the idea, and maybe you want to put some more pressure on a B, especially the way that Team Liquid are setting up right now.
I definitely agree because again, like I think Gokhan has really made it obvious he's playing A. Like he's not rotating the sniper because like some teams what they like to do is you obviously have your A tower just being contained with the sniper, but there is times where you go, look, let's switch it up, put the double rifles, 1 below, 1 on the side, and then float that sniper. But he hasn't been doing that. Like he's been constantly playing A. I don't know if maybe Tanks made that call to them saying like, look, they're eventually going to give him up in that position. You guys are going to outfrag them. You guys are going to get control of this site. So I don't know. That's one of my speculation is, but I do agree. Like I feel like B has been a lot more forgiving for these guys. They can definitely prove that they can outduel those guys. You're going rifle to rifle. You don't have to worry about a sniper duel. So we'll see what they want to do.
Yeah, still a lot of time in this one. It's still all tied up 6-6. And even though TL are in their comfort zone, it's still anybody's map. And, if No steps it up a little bit late, like obviously his numbers right now not looking as impressive as every other map we've seen. But we still know that he's got it in him, so potential for him if he does begin to turn on the jets here a little bit to make a big resurgence on this map. Better late than never, as I always say. And a big forward position here once again from TL. This has been working out for them where it's like, if you want to push A, be my guest. Go ahead. But you're not pushing B, not with this setup. And, I mean, there's still ways to enter. Don't get me wrong. Let's see if they do try to challenge this. As already JJ goes down. And from the rafters, Danimals gets so much value. 7-7 with 2 kills already on the board. They take down Loy. It's only KLP. There's way too much for him to do here.
Yeah, this is a really difficult task. I feel like it is just mission impossible. All of them are going to swing him. There we go. Like, look at you have 4 players that are right there ready for the fight. So good job from Liquid. Flawless round for them. Take it with some ease, and now they get themselves back into a lead. And I mean, this, like you said, has been a really tough second half for Stallions. They've been able to find 1 round only. It's been the Liquid show, right? I mean, this is where they've been able to slowly and surely get themselves back in this game, now find themselves in a lead. So Stallions have a lot of conversation to have here. They did just burn out their timeout, or their tactical. So they have to be very careful and precise what they want to do because we're in round 14. Things are getting close to that end point.
Yeah, I think it's a rough time for Stallions when it's like our pushes onto A have not looked good. Our pushes into B main have looked worse. So what exactly are we supposed to do in this situation? You can feel kind of helpless, especially after they just had their attack pause, as you were saying. So I don't know how much more I don't know how many other ways they can really switch up what they're doing in this position. Somebody's really going to have to take the reins and call some great stuff to figure it out, because right now, from where I'm sitting, TL look like they might just run away with this map number 5. As it was predicted, I feel like a lot of us made predictions and they've all kind of along the same route, and I think it's all kind of coming true, as these 2 teams were very closely matched. But if it does go Porte, you give that slight edge to TL. And it has looked that way so far, especially with No going down for his 12th death and only 4 kills so far. He has been pretty much absent here, even from the Blacklist side. As at least Y is going to be taken down by Loy somewhere in B main. And they're taking their time with this one. They say, well, if he was there alone, perhaps we got an angle here onto B, and they are correct. This really always has been, the double sniper setup on A, and so they're going to go for it quickly into B. They spam out Danimal from behind the box. And now Adrian here playing on the back of the site. The rotation comes in, but the smokes are already in. on top of 7-7. He's going to try to push it with the pistol, it looks like, as over the top they go, but Adrian's right there to shut it down. Picks up a second one, and they have just not been able to clear out this site. JJ gets swinged, and TL get round 8 as they are on a massive tear here from the Global Risk side.
Yeah, and again, just a bit of a positional mistake here from Stallions, right? They knew that Adrian was in pit. They knew they had that threat there and that problem, but they still kind of, again, just peaked enough that he was able to find some duels that he should have never been able to find. So for Stallions, I mean, they got so hyper fixated on that one player on the left-hand side, but again, their positioning just got a little bit questionable, but great work from Team Liquid to be able to respond to that threat. And they neutralize everything in their path, and now, like you said, closer and closer we go that Liquid might be able to find themselves in a position, in a conversation of going to a grand final in a tournament, something they've been hungry for and desperate for years. So this is something that, again, both these teams just really, really want, but Liquid seem to be the ones that want it more.
Yeah, it's hard to say where we go from here. I think that Stallions have been stopped at every turn by TL, so unless they somehow get a second wind or some kind of miracle is pulled out here, Team Liquid are just in total control. It is going to be Stallions here in the middle of the map. And, you know, the one round where they won was something like this, where, you know, they pushed through mid-smoke and tried to make a play on the bridge. They haven't committed to that just yet, as it really is just No kind of trying to lead the charge here as the entry, and he's just going to dry swing in a mid. Like, that is certainly one way to try to handle this Blacklist side. As, you know, you can collapse so quickly in a mid. It's incredible. On it. Like, everybody on this map can immediately turn to mid, and all 5 guns can be facing.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, that's certainly one way you can do it.
Yeah.
Not the best way.
Well, and I feel like even for someone like No, right? Like, I mean, obviously, statistically, this game, he's not playing his best. So, like, I mean, for him, like, to be the first point of entry and just doing something like that, be that entry point, let it happen. Like, let him just go for a fight. Oh, that could be bad. Oh, that could be so bad for Stallions, and it is. Oh, why? Good marksmanship here. And now JJ does something back, and now are they going to realize, okay, pit exists. Danimal's now trying to make a lot of havoc, and he does. He's just tapping away through the box. 7-7 might have this one easy for timing. He just has to pounce on it, and he does. All of a sudden, it's just down to No, the superstar himself. 16 seconds, he realizes, no, we got to have a conversation. We got to figure this out quickly. And they're just going to let this one go. But Team Liquid now solidifying themselves onto match and series point. One round needed, and they go to the grand finals.
It's looking fantastic for them right now. I mean, Team Liquid moving over to GR, and they have looked pretty much lights out. Again, even the one round that Stallions got, I was like, TL should have won that round.
Yeah.
Like, this has been all them after the swap. There has been pretty much nothing in the tank left here for the boys on Stallions. And Team Liquid are such a strong team from the CFBL, and they look like they are just one step away from making it to face off against Baisha and making it back into the finals after such a long drought. And again, we need that miracle. I don't think we're going to see it. Y is right here. No does pick up one, and they are pushing in up top as Adrian's got the flank, but Loy is watching it. And maybe Stallions get another round here. But 7-7 wants to put an end to that noise, is going to land the snipe. And Danimals has been having a big map here, 17 kills. He being still alive. They're trying to find an angle here to get onto the site. And they're expecting the push. I mean, I don't blame them, especially with finally a little bit of momentum. But that's a couple of kills all of a sudden. KLB, the last man alive, standing up against 2. He gets 1.
For the time.
And yeah, he's just running out of time. KLB's playing it excellently here, and he does get the kill. And Stallions are not done yet. You need to hit number 10 before extra rounds if you want to win.
What a scrappy round for Stallions to win, right? Like, I mean, Liquid just seemed like, again, like another level right now on this map. They almost take that away, but again, from KLB just being able to burn the time as much as he could, that was great. And that little bit of a cheeky swing that he's able to find that one kill, that really was, to me, the saving grace. Otherwise, I think that round would have been over if he didn't find that initial duel, because it would have been a 2-on-1. They could have had one person go on the defuse right away, one person spamming him. So Stallions will survive. 2 needed. And we could go to another extra overtime. 3rd one, why not? I would love it.
As was predicted.
As was predicted, yes.
As was written. Yeah.
Oh, man. What a game, though. Like now I'm kind of still wondering if Noah's just going to do this weird thing. He flicks a switch, and then he's just like, okay, kill mode activated. I'm just going to do what I need to do now. I don't know. Maybe not. Or somebody else, but it's just unfortunate. He's been so amazing all 4 maps, and this is the one, unfortunately, it seems like he really has exerted himself maybe just a bit.
Yeah, and same thing for TL, where it's been really a team effort. You know, everybody has put up big rounds, big maps at differing times. This time it's Danimals, 2 KD in such a close map is just crazy. And I mean, I don't, you know, Stallions got that last round. I'm not a believer. I think TL are still going to take this. I just don't see any way that Stallions have that momentum, but, you know, prove me wrong. I'd love to see it and make it really interesting here.
If Danimals can find these kills, though, like, this is going to be huge because, again, he's the sole anchor. He's the one guy, one-man army right now. He's waiting for his team. He's staying alive. Stallions have to neutralize him. They have to get rid of this threat. They have to get rid of the problem. They get the plant down, but he's still here. He's still in their territory, but look at that. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely, yes, please. Stallions still have a pulse. They still have some motivation left in them, Valdez. They are not done with this game yet.
I can't believe this is happening. I mean, Stallions were down and out. Like, they were on the floor. The ref was saying 1, 2, 3. Like, the knockout was already in, and he came back from the dead. This is not done yet, I guess. I had given up on them, but Stallions had not. And Team Liquid, like, how do they not close this out from here? They're at 9 rounds. They had so much momentum. It's just 1 round left from GR, and you've given 2 rounds to Stallions from the Blacklist side. This would be the worst way to go into extra rounds for Team Liquid.
It absolutely would. That, like, again, gut-wrenching. Absolutely gut-wrenching. And now it's just down to 1 round to determine this. Done here and now or overtime. And again, Liquid, this is where you start to shake in the boots, right? I mean, we talk about their event squad, we talk about their experience, yes, but you've given some room. You've given some inches now, and Stallions are like, okay, hang on. Like, that copium is starting to be real. Like, this is the thing. We'll have to see if they can convert that energy into the positive one here to get this thing done. Danimals looks like he might try to entertain the idea of going towards short, or he might just try to play this top box position, which does have a lot of benefit as well. Oh, this is tense. Like, you can cut it with a knife, man. Like,
I almost don't want to say anything. I'm like, no, I got to do my job. But like, oh.
You just want to watch it.
This is so close. This is so scary. And Stallions have taken their time once again at the beginning. They've done so much spamming into Adrian, like they know the angles he's been playing. And it's been him that's held down the middle of the map. But already a decent amount of damage done to 7-7 and Y. 7-7, it's not going to matter too much playing that sniper role. And they just won a round on B. I mean, I don't mind this if they can get into B quick. With some big momentum onto the site. It's going to be 7-7 for first contact.
Oh, and it's a 5-man commit, man. Nobody's even waiting. Nobody's lurking. And then you have Y that's kind of sitting close on by here with 7-7. So they got a double setup. Oh, the rotate's already happening. Rotate's already happening. Liquid are ready for this. They've read it. They have full inkling of it. Liquid might be able to just do it here and now. And they might just be able to secure this unless something happens from Stallions, and it's all just down to Loy. 1 man to do something, but not gonna happen. Team Liquid will advance to the grand final.
And you see Daniel saying bye-bye, but that was a very high emotion series. As some words still shouted. You know who is calm and cool as a cucumber is Goke, and he's like, yeah, whatever, you know, just making a finals. It's just